Oklahoma felt the sting of 2 razor-thin losses in October, but Bob Stoops remains confident. Yes, Boomer Sooner is still in the chase for the Big 12 title. And today, that chase takes them through the rich farmlands of Ames, Iowa. Big 12 football, next on Fox Sports 1. Welcome to Iowa State and the Ford. Fox Sports 1 college football pregame sponsored by the Ford F-Series, built for tough. And from the Big 12, 18th ranked Oklahoma and the Cyclones of Iowa State right now on Fox Sports 1. And hi, everyone. Craig Bullerjack. He's Ryan Neese. Busy day on Fox and Fox Sports 1. We kick it off here in Ames, Iowa. 5 points separates Oklahoma, Ryan, from a perfect season. And after a bye week, it's back to work time. And if you play for Bob Stoops, work means run the football.
And they're going to pound the rock today because they have one of the most impressive running attacks in all of the country. We're going to get a chance to see 2 running backs today. Keith Ford, who we were told is going to make his debut. He's been out for 6 weeks. He's a game changer. But this offense has been led by their true freshman, Samaje Perine. He is an explosive running back, 243-pound bruiser who has 10 touchdowns on the year. In Iowa State, if they want to take away their running game, they're going to have to deal with Starling Shepard, the wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in the Big 12. He has big play ability written all over him.
Iowa State is 2-5, but they are improving, and you like their tight end, E.J. Bibbs.
Well, E.J. Bibbs has 6 touchdowns, and he's dangerous in the red zone. He is a special talent. NFL scouts drool over his ball skills. I love watching him run around. He's going to have to play huge, as is Iowa State's offense, if they're going to want to put points on the board today.
It's been a crazy year in the Big 12, and could this be one of those crazy days?
Touchdown, Oklahoma State! TCU upsets the number 4 team in the country. The Texas boy giving West Virginia the win. And the Bears win over TCU. Touchdown, Sooners! Touchdown, Iowa State!
Welcome back to Fox Sports 1 College Football, presented by Kay Jewelers. Weather today in Ames, Iowa, it's cool and windy on this first day of November. Yeah, and wind's going to play a factor in this ball game. It's picked up since early this morning, 48 degrees as we get ready to kick it away. Big topic this week in Ames, Ryan. Can a confident Iowa State team surprise Oklahoma? The last time they surprised the Sooners, it was 1990 in Norman behind junior quarterback Chris Peterson. Passed for 102 yards, ran for 148, scored the winning touchdown in the final seconds, and the final 33-31. Head coaches today, Bob Stoops, 16th season with Oklahoma, 15 consecutive bowl games, 8 Big 12 titles, a national championship. His counterpart, Paul Rhodes, head coach of Iowa State. And Ryan, hoping to score that signature win his program needs to turn the corner.
To turn the corner and build their confidence. All week he stressed confidence. His team starting to find a rhythm on both sides of the football. This would be a huge win and a big confidence booster for this entire program.
Both teams coming off bye weeks, well rested. 5-2 Sooners, 2-5 Cyclones. Oklahoma won the toss, chose to defer, so they'll get the ball in the second half. And the ball kicked out of bounds. And we'll see Iowa State for the first time. And Ryan, tell me 3 things you need to know about the Cyclones.
Well, right out the gate, their offense is playing at a higher level. They had 45 points last week, a season high for them, impressive. And they're red hot in the red zone. I mean, they're putting up points when they get down there, and that's what you need to do today. And then the third thing, E.J. Bibbs, he has 5 touchdowns in the red zone. He's a go-to weapon. He should be their go-to weapon all game long up and down this football field.
There's Sam Richardson, the junior, out of Winter Park, Florida. And that backfield is Aaron Wimberly. They'll go from the gun. First handoff. Wimberly stacked up, pushes forward to around the 28-yard line. So Sam Richardson, as I mentioned, just a junior, and is really starting to get the rhythm. 32 career touchdown passes. Back-to-back, he's been impressive. 300-plus yards and plus 3 touchdowns. Second down and 7. Claps for the football. Wants to throw. Ball deflected, nearly intercepted, and drops at the 33-yard line. Jordan Evans deflected that ball. One of the inside linebackers, number 26 for OU.
Well, Jordan Evans, right on the right side of your scheme, number 26. He just reads the quarterback's eyes, gets his hands up, bats the ball down. Smart football play by that young linebacker.
Iowa State converting 47% of their third downs this year. That's 15th best in the FBS. Richardson, a pocket, stands tall, and he throws it away. Incomplete. So it's 3 and out for the Cyclones. Charles Tapper got in that backfield, but you know what? You get about 3 seconds trying to toss a football, and that was good coverage downfield for OU.
It was excellent coverage downfield, and Richardson sat in the pocket. He was patient. He wanted his receivers to get open. Unfortunately, nobody got open. He had to throw it away and throw it into the ground, and they weren't able to convert on that third down. They're going to have to find a way to give him more time and allow his receivers to get open.
Colin Downing, averaging 43 yards a kick. Not a good one. Looks like it came off the side of his foot, but it gets a big Iowa State bounce. There'll be no return for Shepard. And to the 23-yard line goes that punt off Downing's foot. He gets a 49-yarder. 3 things you need to know about Oklahoma.
Well, Coach Stoops knows how to respond after a loss. He's 31-0 after a loss. An impressive string of wins right there. And they've had 2 tough losses this year, Craig. By combined 5 points, this team could be easily undefeated. And the third thing, Starling Shepard. He is a next-level wide receiver talent. He has 130 yards he's averaging each game at the wide receiver position.
So Trevor Knight from the gun, backs her split. Steelers want to pass on first down. Single coverage up top. There's a push, there's a hit. I see no flag. And the completion at the 31-yard line. And guess who? Starling Shepard. He had 15 catches 2 weeks ago against Kansas State.
Well, you just watch him, the way he tracks the ball with his eyes. And it looks like he may be a little bit banged up. But that's an impressive job by that young, talented wide receiver to be able to track that ball with his eyes, have the patience and the wherewithal to come down and secure that catch in traffic.
Got hit high and low, a catch of 46 yards, and Shepard looks to be up. That was his 50th reception of the season out of Oklahoma City.
And you hope that he's not banged up too bad, and hopefully he's able to find a way to get back into the game.
We'll step aside as Shepard's being attended to. It's scoreless in Ames on Fox Sports 1. No, you never like to see this, but Shepard is being carted off. I hate to speculate, but he's kind of was mouthing and pointing to his groin. But Ryan, after he made that catch, he kind of bounced up, took a step, and then went to the ground.
He did. And I've had a groin injury, and all of a sudden you can bounce up like that. Well, you go to move laterally, and it grabs and it pulls on you, and you can feel the pain right away. That's a big loss for that offense because he was being go-to man at the wide receiver position.
High snap taken down by Knight. He's going to run, has room. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Oklahoma. On a busted play, the Sooners find the end zone. And we got a Cyclone down. Jevin Miller, the middle linebacker at the 35-yard line. 2 plays, 2 injuries.
And 2 injuries to key players on both teams. Jevin Miller's the starting middle linebacker, number 55. He is the leader of that team. You hope he's not injured too bad. But what about the wherewithal for Trevor Knight to secure that bad snap, have the confidence, the calmness to be able to tuck the ball and turn it upfield, get positive yards, and get a touchdown? I mean, he had 123 yards last year rushing against this defense. He looked very impressive right there. Cyclones are going to have to find a way to regroup. You can't relax on a bad snap. Sometimes you relax, you get lazy with your technique, and big plays happen.
Well, you talk about big plays. Big players have gone down in the first 2 games of this matchup today. Sharp goes down, carted off, and Jevin Miller, their leader, their middle linebacker, 63 tackles on the year. The junior out of Brooklyn, Iowa, is down.
He's 3rd in the Big 12. When we talked to the coaches, he said he's the vocal leader. He's the one that gets everybody lined up. He's the most productive football player they have on defense. And if he's out of the game, another big loss for the Cyclones.
Wally Burnham We talked to him yesterday. I mean, he just had so much respect for this young man. 3-year letterman.
He talked about each week he continues to grade out high. Said he's maxing out, playing really above the coach's expectations. And they were very impressed, as you said, spoke very highly of him, not just as a player, but as his character as well. I'm sure they're very concerned with this injury. Like Bob Stoops did to check on Shepard. Now Paul Rhodes making his way back to the sideline after having a chat with Jevon Miller. Craig, sometimes in this cold weather, I mean, it takes a while for your bodies to get warmed up. It's an early game. I mean, you got to be able to get your bodies going, and you hope these guys are ready to play in these games. I mean, these are 2 big injuries early on. Well, that's the 25th rushing touchdown that's been allowed by Iowa State defensively on a busted play. As you mentioned, Trevor Knight able to cradle and bring the ball back down, and then found the seam and took it in for the touchdown. And after a long look at Jevon Miller, Miller is gingerly walking off the field. And you saw in that replay where we highlighted Miller, you could see that he got chop blocked below the waist, and that's a legal block. And sometimes when you don't expect that coming as a linebacker, it just puts you in a really vulnerable position, and it can lead to injury anytime you get hit below the waist like that. Oklahoma has now scored in 209 consecutive games, and here comes Michael Honeycutt, who had a rough day against Kansas State, missed a PAT and a late field goal that could have won it. And the chip shot is up, and it's good. Honeycutt now 35 of 36 in point after attempts. Oklahoma, 2 plays, they find the end zone.
Tonight, buckle up and hold on as Marcus Mariota and the 5th-ranked Ducks look to cruise past the Cardinal in their race to a playoff berth. Stanford, Oregon, tonight at 6:30 on Fox.
Welcome back to Fox Sports 1 College Football, presented by K Jewelers. Trevor Knight took it 31 yards. That ties a season-long run for Knight. 2 plays on that Oklahoma drive. I mean, the key catch by Shepard and then the run by Knight. It took 34 seconds. We could, those 2 big explosive plays got overshadowed by the injuries to Shepard and Miller. But that offense, they came out shooting their gun. Big play in the passing game down to Shepard, and then Trevor Knight with the big-time run for the touchdown. That's exactly the way Oklahoma wanted to start on the road. Sooners will kick away for the second time here in the opening quarter. No return the first time, and there will be no return on the second boots. Wimberly lets it fly out of the backside of the end zone, and Iowa State goes back to work. It was 3 and out, Ryan, last time the Cyclones touched the football. Well, they struggled on first down. They tried to run the ball. They didn't get anywhere with that, and all of a sudden, second down, they didn't get anything. They got an incomplete pass. Third down, they were 3rd and long. And that plays into the favor of Oklahoma and their defense. They can just get after you. They can dial up blitzes. They have some unique blitzes that they'll bring heat all day long. Sam Richardson's at his best when he's got 3rd and short, 2nd and short. He can pick apart defenses. They got to find a way to win on first down, though. Aaron Wimberly lines up alongside Richardson. Good protection. Sets his feet, throws underneath, and the ball incomplete through the hands of Wimberly. And Ryan, let's talk about Oklahoma's defense and those impact players. Well, as a former linebacker, I always try to search out other big-time linebackers, and Eric Stryker is one of those big-time linebackers. He will hit you. He's very physical. And Zach Sanchez at the cornerback position, he can flat-out cover anybody in the country. 5 interceptions on the season. And right now, Iowa State's offense struggling against Oklahoma. They put up 45 points a couple of weeks ago. In that tough loss at Texas, they went 524 yards. They ran 93 plays. They've had a lot of confidence in the last 2 weeks. They have, and they just aren't showing it right now. They just look a little bit out of sync, out of rhythm, and that's what's plaguing this offense right now. Cyclones on 3rd down and 10. Quick toss, far side. Oh, what a catch at midfield, and a flag is out. Lazard, the outstanding freshman from Urbandale, Iowa, with a reception, and a flag's back at the 45. Alan Lazard, number 5, he runs a little corner route. Really nice coverage.
but Lazard concentrating on the ball, and Wilson does a great job covering.
Holding. Defense. Number 2. Penalties declined as a result of the play. First down.
Well, Wilson gets called for the hold right there, but Lazard comes up with a big catch, and it was a nicely thrown ball by Richardson.
Richardson took a tumble on his back after the pickup at 24, and the first down for the Cyclones. They go underneath in traffic, and the ball knocked away and complete at the 45-yard line. Tough throw, dangerous throw.
Dangerous throw. Oklahoma brought an all-out blitz right there. They had nobody back as a safety. They said, hey, we're going to get to Richardson and rattle him. And that ball came out of his hands just a little bit too quick.
Iowa State running a hurry up. 3 wide receivers on the near side. Little run option and a nice run to the 45-yard line. Wimberly, I think he's a scat back, only 5'9", about 175 on a good day.
On a good day, I would love to have the coaches said, we just can't put weight on this guy. We wish we could give him, some cement to eat to try to put some weight on him, but they just can't find a way to get weight on him. He's an elusive guy in the open field.
Yeah, pizza, baked potatoes didn't work. Richardson throws, had that crossing route underneath. You saw Jarvis West. He was trailed by Quentin Hayes. The offensive coordinator had a great talk with him, Mark Mangino, the former Kansas head coach, yesterday. And he said, look, I don't have a problem eating potatoes and pasta. I can't transfer that over to Wimberly.
He said Wimberly, they give him everything in the book to try to eat, and it hasn't happened. But if they can find a way to get the run game going, that was a nice run. It's only going to help this offense and allow Richardson to settle down and give him a little bit more confidence and time in the pocket.
Downing, end-over-end kick. Sanchez will let it take a divot back at the 14-yard line. And they're going to mark it out of bounds right at the 18-yard line. The Oklahoma back on offense with a 7-point lead. Stay tuned. It's a big, big day on Fox and Fox Sports 1. You'll see Kansas and Baylor. And then tonight, big game. Stanford taking on Oregon. Texas at Texas Tech. And late, Utah trying to stay in that Pac-12 race. A big game against Arizona State. Stay with us on Fox and Fox Sports 1.
It's a long day of really good football. I can't wait to watch some of those games. Oregon, they were challenged by Stanford every single year.
Samaje Perine in the backfield with Trevor Knight. Play action pass. Drop it over the middle. 30-yard line. And the reception by Deron Neal. That's his 27th grab of the year, and that was a perfect play action and a drag underneath and a big gainer.
They're going fast. They're going up tempo to catch this defense off guard right now.
Quick toss. Dropped. And the old rule is you got to catch before you run. And Micah Quick, who has that quick speed, wanted to get upfield and didn't have the handle.
Well, he didn't listen to you. He didn't know the old rule. You're absolutely right. You got to catch that football, secure the catch, then use your speed and elusiveness to get up the field. He took his eyes off the football and dropped that.
Second down and 10. Knight from the gun. Design play. Oh, what a block out front. Knight spins out of a tackle. First down. Beautiful run. Perine laid a hit on the edge, and Knight went for big yards.
Well, Knight had it. We talked about it earlier. Last year he had 123 yards rushing against this defense, and he's rushing the ball again today very effectively.
Averages 4 yards a touch. This time they pitch it near side. Micah Quick. About a half a step and breaking that down the sideline, down to the 47-yard line. Let's see Oklahoma. We'll time them on how quick they actually are between plays.
Well, if you and Micah Quick were in a phone booth, he'd make you miss as well. I mean, he talked about an elusive guy in the open field. What a move.
Yeah, 15 seconds between plays, and to the 41-yard line goes Perine. And we talked about how special a player he is. Mature beyond his years. The word from Bob Stoops and Josh Heupel, the offensive coordinator. He's 243 pounds, a true freshman out of Pflugerville, Texas.
We talked about when he walked into the weight room as a freshman, all the veteran players, their jaws just dropped to see his size and his athleticism and his physique.
Over 30 seconds on that snap. Wide open. K.J. Young with his first grab, 14th of the season, and a wrap and roll tackle. And right now, OU's have their way. Trevor Knight making his 13th career start. Not bad numbers, Ryan. 10-2.
10-2, playing with a lot of confidence. He's running the ball very well today, and he's throwing strikes all over the place. His wide receivers are all wide open right now. He's got his pick of the litter right now where he wants to distribute the football.
4 of 5 passing for 76 yards. Trevor Knight from the gun. Put that ball. Took a little slow. It was a little slow to develop as Piron was late. Luke Knock, the weak side linebacker, was able to bring him down. Now getting back to Piron for a moment, and Ryan, you played at UCLA in the National Football League. It's not often you get a young freshman or a rookie who can come in and there's an awe among the veterans or juniors and seniors on a football team.
It's very rare, but they just shows you what a special talent he is. He was strong, he was fast, and he's demonstrated all of that athleticism. Doesn't just happen in the weight room or on the practice field. He transfers it over onto game days as well.
That was the 8th play of this drive. Neal, 16 yards, and OU's on the move again. Inside the 20 at the 16-yard line. Fresh downs, 1st and 10. Already 143 yards in this first quarter. Knight flush from the pocket on his back foot. Throws it and throws it away. Trent Taylor, Robbie Garcia made their way into the backfield to pressure Trevor Knight. Well, he looks cool and calm and focused after a week off.
We talked about it. He's a dual threat. He showed it right there. He was in the pocket. It was a little design play-action pass. He was patient. Nothing was open. He got pressure. He was able to escape outside the pocket, look for his receivers, keep his head down the field, show that calm presence. Wasn't able to find an open receiver, but he's playing lights out right now.
He's hit 4 different receivers so far in this game, 92 yards. Knight once more. Up top he goes, a jump ball in the end zone. Touchdown. Oklahoma. No. One official said yes. One official said no. And the call is Neal did not have possession. He juggled the football.
Well, Neal runs a go route. And all of a sudden, he finds a way into the back of the end zone, and Sam Richardson is trying to cover him. He doesn't get his head around in time, loses track of the football. Neal looked like he comes up with a catch right there, a one-handed catch.
Side judge said yes. The back judge on that back line end zone came over and said no, disallow it.
Well, they're going to review this.
They
That's
should.
close. Yeah,
they should.
Absolutely.
Timeout. Oklahoma. That's their first timeout. Previous play. Under review.
So they will review this play. Will set aside. 7-0 OU.
The play stands as called. Oklahoma is not charged with a timeout because we were paid for replay.
All right, I want to go to Los Angeles and bring in Mike Pereira. You saw that play, Mike, as Oklahoma's going to go back to work offensively. But let me just ask you, it's like splitting hairs. Look to me, he had his feet down, but the possession was the issue.
Possession was the issue as they score in the next play anyways, but here is the issue. He's got to hold on to the ball when he hits the ground, and although the ball never hit the ground, it was loose while he was laying out of bounds, and that makes it an incomplete pass.
Well, Mike, as you mentioned, K.J. Young just went across the middle. Thank you, Mike, and scores a touchdown, so it's bang, bang.
Bing, bang, boom right there. They said, you know what, incomplete pass, we don't care. We're going to throw a strike, a slant route to Young in the back of the end zone.
Honeycutt for the second time with a PAT. And it's up and good. Knight is sharp. Knight is sharp. It was a reviewable play, but it stood as a possession. Deron Neal did not bring it down and hold it. That was a call upstairs from the replay official, Jim Blackwood. And then next play, Knight, Ryan just stepped back and fired a shot right across the middle over the top, K.J. Young.
Well, 3-step drop. He sets up 1, 2, 3 on his back foot, plants, delivers a perfectly thrown football to Young. And that's easy pitch and catch right there between two talented players in Knight and Young.
Well, that was an impressive drive as well. 11 plays, 82 yards, less than 3 minutes off the clock. Multiple big plays on that drive, but Knight threw for 62 yards. He also had a 16-yard run.
Well, right now, Iowa State's defense has got to find a way to figure things out. They were on their heels. Oklahoma's mixing it up, run pass, but they're dictating the entire pressure, tempo of this entire game right now. Iowa State's got to settle down and find a way to come up with some plays defensively.
This kick, 8 yards deep in the end zone again. No return, and Iowa State will start at their own 25. Time for a Lowe's Never Stop improving game break. For the first time, let's say hello to Greg Wolf.
All right, thanks. We go to Lincoln Financial Field, number 23, East Carolina, 6-1 on the season and driving. But Breon Allen coughs up the football. Temple's Tavon Young scoops it up. He goes 63 yards the other way, and the Owls lead it 7-0 first quarter. Craig, Ryan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Greg. We'll be checking with you throughout the day. I tell you, he ran away.
He did. Well, they need the ball here. Iowa State needs the ball to bounce in their favor as well. Hopefully they can find a way to move the ball offensively, move the chains. And that's not the way you want to start a drive on first down.
I tell you, I'm impressed with Oklahoma. After both teams coming off byes, but that defense is sharp. They were right on top of that option. Neely had no place to go and ran down by Evans and Alexander, the two inside backers. Blitz off the edge. Ball dropped, incomplete, 30-yard line. E.J. Bibb, sure-handed, lost that one. He's had 32 catches. I know you like him, so do the pro scouts.
I do. His ball skills are off the charts. He's usually very sure-handed. He's physical, and he's a very good route runner for a tight end. He's going to play at the next level for a long time.
Third down and 10 for Richardson. He just 1 of 8 for 24 yards. Needs a first down. Throws it to, I'll tell you, empty space. That was a crossed route. One high, one low. And that brings up 4th and 10. So a little problem for Mangino and his offense here early.
Just out of sync. And when you start getting out of sync, you get out of rhythm, you start trying to force things, you start trying to press a little bit harder. And right now, they just need to calm down. Plenty of time left in this game to get back in it, find a way to just get your rhythm and do what you do and do that really well.
Downing with the punt and a fair catch at the 43-yard line. A 32-yard punt, and Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girl Clubs help young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens through programs that promote character, leadership, education, healthy lifestyles, and so much more. For more information, you can visit foxsportsupports.com. Well, little doubt, Iowa State needs a stop. Oklahoma's taken it down the field twice here early in the first quarter. Knight goes back to work, stands tall in the pocket and slings it around the 45-yard line, and Neal is taken down by Sam E. Richardson, the left corner.
Sam E. Richardson's left on an island. They had 8 in the box right there. He's finding a way to backpedal, and he's giving up way too much cushion, and that's why that was an easy pitch and catch.
Oklahoma running it fast up the gut. One broken tackle is Ross, and he'll run it to the 34-yard line. They're going outside, they're going inside, they have hurry up. They've kept Iowa State off balance defensively, and another hurry up play as the height goes to Knight off the left side. Missed tackles one after another, and Ross bangs his way for a first down to the 23.
Well, Iowa State's just having a hard time getting lined up. Oklahoma's moving that fast.
Again, up the middle they go behind the center, Ty Darlington. Ross is a 220-pound sophomore, and this offensive line is NFL worthy. They are huge at OU.
You read my mind right there. The reason they're able to move so fast and just line up and run the ball so effectively is because they have some big boys up front that all those guys, you probably could put them on the charts against any NFL team, any offensive line in the NFL.
Second down and 6. Here comes Knight off the edge. looking for the first down, and he steps out of bounds. There's a late flag at the 10-yard line. Perine gave him a nice block, but a flag at the 10.
He might have got a block in the back right there. But Trevor Knight just showing his elusiveness and his athleticism. Watch him on film. But
Offense, number 16. 15-yard penalty, second down.
Now wide receiver, that's Micah Quick, number 16.
You're going to see right there to the right of your screen, he grabs the little jersey, tries to get away with it. But as soon as you throw those two hands up,
oh no,
the referees are all over that. You're guilty.
Not me.
Guilty as charged.
So wipe out that run by Knight, and the ball's placed back just outside the 20-yard line. Under 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. 3 wide receivers set up to the near side as Knight stands in the pocket. He's been having his way all day on a pitch and catch. Perine lowers his pads near the marker. We're talking about the O-line. The average 327. I don't want to run into Tyrus Thompson. I don't want to run into Adam Shedd. Ty Darlington's a small guy. Evans goes 339, and Darrell Williams tips the scales at 334.
And the other thing that's impressive is you got 4 of those players are seniors. This is a line that's played together for a long time. They're in sync with one another. They communicate very well, and they go out and they maul defensive linemen.
Now 4 of the 5 starters are 3-year lettermen for Bob Stoops. Knight on a quick pedal. He wants the end zone. Picked off at the 5-yard line. Sam E. Richardson. And finally, Iowa State gets a big stop. Much needed.
Well, they needed that. I mean, you can hear the crowd right now. They needed that stop in the red zone. Sam Richardson comes up with a big-time interception. Reads the quarterback's eyes. He's in perfect position. And this is Knight just forces this football in there. I mean, that's just a bad throw on his part. No reason for him to make that throw. He should know that. But when he does, you got to take advantage of your opportunities, and Sam Richardson's all over it.
That's the 7th interception thrown by Knight this season. 2nd pick. And then Iowa State secondary for Richardson. Cyclones with the football on a comeback. Nice call, Lazard. First down, 22-yard line. Little trickery by Mangino to get this crowd and his team rolling.
Well, that's a little slip screen to the wide receiver. You get the ball in his hands early. Allow your offensive lineman to get up the field and block upfield.
Iowa State wants to run up tempo. Low snap, Richardson has it. And that ball bounces incomplete.
Oh, Richardson, right now, he's really lucky that ball was thrown into the dirt, because you know what? That was going to be an interception. Zach Sanchez, who already has 5 picks, he's all over that. He would have picked that and took that to the house.
That was number 6 looking right at his eyes. 2nd down and 10. Not much off the ground. Wimberly swarmed under by the Sooners. Front line of Tapper and Phillips.
And you get an incomplete pass, and you get a run play that doesn't go for any yards, and now you're in 3rd and long. We talked with both coaches. Offensively, this is not the position that you want to be in against a talented defense, and you got to watch. They're going to bring pressure right now and get after Richardson.
A loss of 1, 3rd down and 11. Sooners show blitz. Here they come, both edges. That ball deflected, falls incomplete again, nearly intercepted by the Sooners. That play blew up because pressure on both edges.
Well, they brought heat once again. 3rd and long. They're going to dial up all types of unique blitzes, and they get to Richardson. They hit him from both sides. The ball's got to come out of his hands quick, and the receiver doesn't continue to run his route. He stops his route, and that's all of a sudden it's an incomplete pass. They're going to continue to see that all game long, that they continue to get in these 3rd and long situations.
And Oklahoma looks, Ron, also to get good field position as Downing lifts a nice high punt and a fair catch way forward by Sanchez at the 40-yard line. In fact, they're going to call it at the 38. Oklahoma off and running early behind Trevor Knight. They lead by 14 on Fox Sports 1. Well, welcome back, Ames, Iowa. Rich farmland, fall and winter on its way as we hit November 1st. A little breezy.
Well, you said cool earlier.
It's getting
chilly.
cold, yeah.
It's chilly when that breeze starts going and you can see the flags waving around here. It's down into your bones.
Right, we talked to Bob Soups this week. Yeah, he's kept a positive attitude. The 2 losses combined 5 points. At TCU, a shootout of 37-33, and a heartbreak loss to Kansas State, 31-30. They still got a shot at a Big 12 championship, and this is a good football team, and he knows it.
It starts today. I mean, obviously coming off a bye week, maintaining your confidence, continuing to play at a high level, and striving towards your goal of winning the Big 12 championship. And that's exactly what this team set out to do at the beginning of the year, and then let everything else take care of itself.
Yeah, had a chance to beat Kansas State, but the missed field goal by Honeycutt. But he also said, look, he's a terrific kicker. The 2 picks and an extra missed point doesn't help either. Little screen across the middle to Quick, and he just runs through the Cyclones past midfield to the 47-yard line. Let's talk about impact players for the Cyclones.
Well, it's going to be their DBs, Cotton Moya and Nigel Tribune. Both of those players are going to have to come up big. We've seen it today. They've been tested a number of times in their secondary.
Alex Ross knocked down at the ankles after a pickup of 1, maybe 2. That brings up second down. Clock runs up on 5 minutes here in the first quarter. It's been owned by Oklahoma. Trevor Knight banged up that left shoulder against Kansas State, but the bye week helped him to heal, and he looks sharp. From the gun. He'll run it on a cutback up the middle. Dances first down and smartly dives at the 35-yard line.
Well, they ran a play you might be familiar with back in your day when they played ball. That was just option football. And when you play against an option team, you have to be extremely disciplined in your gaps and your run fits to try to stop it.
Play action pass on a string. Beautiful catch on the outside, brought down by Quick. And Quick's having a nice day. A true freshman out of Fresno. He made his first career start against Kansas State 2 weeks ago. And again, Heupel and Stoops both told us we got to get the ball to Quick because he's got quick speed.
He's an elusive player, and you can see every time he touches the ball, he's wide open. He's doing a really nice job running his routes, getting open, creating space from the defensive back.
Ross pushes his way to the 26-yard line. Amazing first quarter. 240 yards, 146 passing, and nearly 100 on the ground compared to 45 for Iowa State.
They look unstoppable, and you see the passing yards, and this is the area where they take strikes offensively. I wouldn't be surprised if they take one right now.
Play clock under 5. And from the gun, it's Knight on the handoff. Keeper, now the pitch, the old-fashioned way at the 10. And hopped out of bounds is Dimitri Flowers, the fullback. That's old-time football right there.
That is. I mean, showing the patience in Trevor Knight to take the ball all the way up inside the defense and still pitch the ball outside like that. Wow. I mean, a lot of confidence in himself, a lot of confidence in the young man, Samaje Perine, to get that done.
That old triple option back in the day of Barry Switzer at Oklahoma, unstoppable. And now Oklahoma's morphed into a spread, into a hurry-up. Second down and goal. Bob Stoops, 16th year, all-time winningest coach in Norman. Sooners line up 3 wide, far side of the field. Knight looks to the end zone. Up top, beautiful catch, and pulled down by Blake Bell. Bell, a great story. Quarterback turned tight end. We used to know him as the Belldozer. 6'6", 259.
He comes from a long line of talent. His dad, his brother, his dad and his uncle both played in the NFL, and he's wide open right there. Luke Knott, number 21, the linebacker, he fell asleep on the play-action pass, and Bell snuck in behind him for the touchdown.
Third touchdown for OU in this quarter, and the kick is good by Honeycutt. OU is sharp, well rested, tuned in, on the road, up by 3 touchdowns in Ames. There's the Belldozer out of Wichita, Kansas, senior. That was his 3rd touchdown reception, his 12th catch of the year. He's come on strong of late. He had a touchdown against Kansas State 2 weeks ago.
Look at him climb the ladder, secure the catch. I mean, he's ran, he's thrown, and he's caught a touchdown pass in his career here at Oklahoma. Just a talented athlete. Making plays right there.
Nine plays. Oklahoma goes 62 yards in just under 3.5 minutes. 21-0. Sooners. And again, no return. Time for a game break. We go to Los Angeles. Here's Greg Wolf.
Thank you. We check in Piscataway, New Jersey. Wisconsin's Melvin Gordon continuing to put up Heisman-type numbers, now in a tie for 2nd in the FBS with his 17th rushing touchdown this season. Wisconsin leads Rutgers 7-0 second quarter. Greg, Ryan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Greg. I know you like Rodgers, the way he runs the football.
I do. Runs with determination, power. Iowa State needs to calm down. Let me try to find a way to mix in some screens, slow down this pass rush.
Again, off the blitz, off the corner. They pick it up and pitch it outside at the 29-yard line. Jarvis West has been banged up a bit, now running full speed for the Cyclones, and he's a breaker in that slot at 5'7", 170. He can wiggle away in a hurry. You can't get it all back at once.
No, just take your time, move the ball down the field, eat up the clock, give your defense the ability to rest.
OU being very aggressive on the corner, little hook and ladder. Wimberly dances down the sideline, and they'll mark him out at the 40-yard line. That's a second little trick play Mangino has run to try to restart his offense.
We talked about a screen. You got to mix things up against a speedy offense like this. And this is the old hook and ladder. Aaron Wimberly comes out of the backfield. They pitch it to him. That's a nice little design play and effectively ran.
Try to keep OU honest off the edge. Not much. About a loss of a yard back at the 39. There's Mark Mangino. Had a great talk with him yesterday. He's having fun. He's having fun. First year here in Ames.
He walked into that meeting room with a lot of energy. And the first thing he said, I love what I do, and I love being around these young men and coaching them up.
Pressure again from the edge to the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. Jarvis West up against Quentin Hayes, the strong safety. It's a manageable 3rd down and 5. Low snap, Richardson has it again. He's at far side, 1st down and more to the 45-yard line. Nice drive being put together by Mangino as Lazard, the freshman, with the far side catch.
You can see when they give Richardson some time, get the ball out of his hands quickly, and you can see how that reverse, that little play that they had, a little trickery, is giving this offense energy. Now they're in a really unique formation right now.
They stack 3 low, 2 high, and ball batted down, incomplete.
Well, they're going deep in the playbook right now, trying to figure out how do they get more yards and find a way to cheek away at this Oklahoma defense.
That was Stryker.
Stryker comes up and bats that ball down.
What a name for a linebacker, huh?
You love it. That's a special name, and he's a special talent out of the Florida area, out of the Tampa area. I remember him in high school.
Low throw, the catch pulled in by West. He's off and running. Up into 29-yard line. He was running behind Jake Campos, the left tackle. And Iowa State now trying to settle things down. They're at the 29-yard line. Best field position of the day for the Cyclones.
Well, they ran that hook and ladder trickery earlier. Now they lined up in some really unique formation, offensive linemen all over the football field, and they get the ball into their playmakers' hands, and they're moving the ball down the field. This is what they got to do. They got to put points on the board now down here on this side of the field.
Less than a minute to play. Richardson casual escape, sides arms it, and it's incomplete inside the 20-yard line. Took a short bounce. Pressure. Forced that throw. And Richardson toss it in the ground. Oh, just a fingertip. Again, pressure from the edge. Richardson steps up out of the pocket. That ball tipped and still caught. E.J. Bibbs saved the day.
Offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty, second down.
That ball was up for grabs, but push it back 10 on the penalty.
We just talked about Eric Stryker a minute ago, and he came off this edge. He exploded off the line of scrimmage, and he tries to turn the corner. And Jake Campos just can't block him. He's coming with so much speed. He just grabs some cloth. And you can see Eric Stryker's disappointed he didn't get the sack, and the ball was able to get out of Richardson's hands.
Well, this Mike Stoops defense, the brother of the head coach, I'd say he's aggressive play calling today.
Oh, I would love to play in a defense like this because they fly around and they force you to make mistakes as an offense.
That's going to end the first quarter here in Ames, Iowa. OU dominating up by 21. Fox Sports 1 College Football presented by Kay Jewelers will return after these messages. Welcome back. Fox Sports 1 College Football presented by Kay Jewelers, and we're on the road in Ames, Iowa.
The old RV.
Yeah,
cruising along.
Welcome to November. Boy, college football is jumping fast around. Boy, we go August, September, October, now November 1st.
This is when the cream starts to rise to the top. Things start to get settled out. And right now, Oklahoma's flying around. They look like a very impressive team today.
Big series here for Iowa State. Throw into double coverage. How about that? Leaning out. Stryker knocks that ball away. He's having a great first half of football.
We just saw him in the backfield disrupting the quarterback. Now he shows his athleticism. He drops back in pass coverage. He's able to get his hands on the ball and bat that down. He has the ability to both rush the passer and be able to drop back and cover a lot of people in this game. That's why he's such a special talent at the linebacker position.
That's a big stat. Iowa State just 2 of 6 on converting third downs. They need 20 to keep this drive alive. On the Oklahoma 40-yard line. Richardson out of the pocket. On the run. And a sliding catch at the, 17-yard line by Wimberly. That play looked like it was blown up. Give credit to Richardson, who went out, kept that play alive, and coming back to help out was Wimberly on a 22-yard reception.
How about Aaron Wimberly, your running back, working down the field, watching your quarterback, getting open. Nice job by that running back.
12th reception of the year for the running back, and it gives Iowa State a much-needed first down. They're inside OU's 20-yard line. Fresh downs, 1st and 10. Option. There's the running ability. Breaking away. Touchdown, Richardson. The sirens are sounding in Ames. Richardson, that dual threat quarterback. And this time he breaks off a big run of 18 yards, in Iowa State in the second quarter finally finds pay dirt. Netton, that is, will try the PAT, and it's up and good. So the Cyclones find an answer here early in the second quarter on the board in Ames. 21-7 Oklahoma. Ames, Iowa, rocking. Big touchdown, much needed, 21-7. And the crowds have spilled over to the hills here at the stadium. And this is where Paul Rhodes told us when he was a kid. He was born just 10 minutes away from the stadium. He used to wait until the security guards looked away, and guess what? He was on the hill.
He was on the hill. He would listen to the announcers, and then as he was listening to the announcers, he would mimic what he was hearing as a player and run around the football field. Pretty impressive story, hometown guy. He loves being here representing Iowa State.
Yeah, born 10 minutes away. Iowa State kicks it away. 1 yard deep. Here comes Ross. Still on his feet. Tackled back. He was at the 15 and dropped back at the 11-yard line.
Now Iowa State
has some momentum.
Has a little bit of momentum.
The UFC returns to Fox Sports 1 with an epic night of fights from Brazil, including a lightweight heavyweight showdown between 9th-ranked Shogun Ruha and 9th-ranked Ovince St. Preux. UFC Fight Night, Saturday at 10:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. I tell you, Ryan, momentum. So big in this college game.
It is. Offensively, Iowa State did a nice job moving the ball down the field. Sam Richardson gave Oklahoma a little taste of their own medicine with the option run for a touchdown. But how is Iowa State's defense going to respond? They've struggled today. They need to find a way to settle down, tackle well, put some pressure on Trevor Knight, take him out of the game.
Got a clock problem. They're going to run 4 seconds. So Randy Crystal today, our referee.
14:08. Thank you.
It was at 4:12, 14:12. They got it to 14:8.
Every second matters.
You know, you don't think so, but in the scheme of things, oh yes, it does.
We've watched sports for a long time. We all know at the end of the game, those precious seconds at the end of the game.
Right, 4 seconds is a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Oklahoma up by a count of 21-14. Back to work. They'll start at their own 11-yard line. Knight flies it out near side. Good tackle, missed him. But Iowa State comes to help out, swarming with the tackle. Micah Quick knocked down by Kenneth Lynn, the left corner.
Really nice pursuit by Iowa State's defense right there. They got to continue to rally, continue to get the troops to swarm to these ball carriers to bring them down in the open field.
Knight from the gun, slings it, flat, caught, 20-yard line. Close to a first down, depends on the mark. Micah Quick. And I do like the fact, Ryan, what you mentioned, Iowa State swarming to the football now.
When you're playing against a talented group like Oklahoma, all the skilled positions they have, the running backs they have, it takes an entire defense to bring these ball carriers down. Very rarely are you going to bring them down one-on-one. And if you can't do that, you have to trust that your other 10 players are going to rally and find a way to bring them down with you.
That played just enough for a first down. They set the chains at the 21-yard line. .40-yard line. P. Ryan out there blocking. So is the bulldozer, or the belldozer.
Samaji Piran, he is a bulldozer, 243-pound freight train. When he gets in the open field, he's hard to bring down.
Second down and 7. 3 wide receivers, Sooners. Option, Knight, keeper. Little stutter step, falls to the 50-yard line, just short of the first down.
Cotton Moya, number 5, comes up with a nice tackle right there in the open field. That wasn't easy. Trevor Knight's an elusive quarterback. He came up and brought him down.
Straight ahead, short, 50-yard line. Iowa State rejuvenated after that touchdown. That brings up 4th down and 1, just short of midfield.
Number 91, Haka came up with a big-time stop on 3rd down. That defensive line's going to have to find a way to rise to the occasion once again. because this Oklahoma team, they're going to go for it with his big boys up front.
Well, they're 6 of 8 this season on 4th down conversions. And you're right, the big O-line of OU. Play clock at 7. Knight under center. Handoff. No! Big tackle on the shoe tops. Mutcherson with the play thus far of the half for Iowa State defensively.
The defensive line gets great surge, great push, and then T.J. Mutcherson, the free safety, comes off the edge. Great physical tackle to bring the ball carrier down for the tackle for the loss and get his defense off the field. You can see the emotion. Coaches are excited, the players are excited, and that's how you respond. Now, offensively, can they continue to hold on to this momentum?
Last time Cyclones had the football, they found Bell the end zone. They found the touchdown to Richardson on that run. Straight ahead they go. Tough to run against that front of Oklahoma.
Well, no surprise, Oklahoma's defense, they understand. They've been in big games before. They understand the momentum swings and the ebb and flows of football. This team's going to continue to dial up pressure. They're going to continue to be physical. Watch out for them to create a turnover right here. You cannot relax offensively if you're Iowa State.
Just under 11 minutes left first half on a 2nd down and 10. Neely alongside his quarterback. Maybe a yard. Maybe. Dominic Alexander, the inside backer with the tackle. Richardson's an interesting story because Mangino, he was the 3rd-string quarterback, Ryan, in the spring. He ran the football too much, didn't go through his progressions, and they said, look, you got to pass, you got to throw down of bounds or get sacked before I want you to run. And he's finally calmed down. This time he overthrows to Montgomery. But he's finally caught on to what Mangino actually wants to do with this offense. They both got to know each other very well in a short period of time.
And that takes time. There's a process and there's an evolution that goes on between the offensive coordinator and the starting quarterback. And at the beginning, Richardson, he wasn't the starting guy, but he worked extremely hard in the offseason, dedicated himself, believed in the system, spent time with Mangino, and that's why he's playing at a high level.
Ten-yard line, and that's where Oklahoma will start their next drive. Timeout in Ames. 21-7 Oklahoma. Big welcome back to Fox Sports 1 College Football presented by Kay Jewelers. Oh, I love the sun. It's out, it's cold, but you know, if you got a place to be, a blanket on the hill here at the stadium, and it's a beautiful sight. Jack Trice Stadium undergoing, by the way, a facelift. $60 million is going to open up next September.
Oh yeah, they're going to put a little money into the stadium. It's going to be impressive.
You see that scoreboard? It'll be gone, and there'll be even another one about 3 times that size.
Oh, and a whole new complex, beautiful stands. They may have a bowling alley in that place.
Yeah, I like to bowl when I go to football games. Oklahoma on the run. Ooh. Cartwheeled at the 15-yard line. Alex Ross, big hit. Kenneth Lynn from the left corner. Ross, I'm impressed. This guy's got speed, power, hits that edge in a hurry at 221 out of Jinx, Oklahoma.
We talk about Ford, we talk about P-Ron. Well, Alex Ross, you hit it right on the head. His ability to hit the edge and get vertical, he's an impressive runner as well.
He had 8 carries against Kansas State, ripped 75 yards off against the Wildcats, averaging over 6 yards a carry. Wide open space, breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles, makes the cut 40. He's at midfield, stutter step, and he won't escape. He goes down on a knee after a beautiful, strong run at the 46-yard line.
We just mentioned it. All he needs is a crease. Once he gets that crease and gets to the edge, he's off to the races and to the second level. What he does a good job of, Craig, is he puts his foot in the ground, he plants it, squares his shoulders, and then bursts towards the end zone.
38 yards. And a first down OU at the 46. On a rollout is Knight. Slings it far side. And the ball drops incomplete off the hands of Neal.
He threw a strike right there. That was a fastball. I mean, if we got a clock on that, I mean, that thing was moving. That ball came out of his hand so fast. Sometimes as a quarterback, you start to rush throws like that. You put a little bit too much mustard on the hot dog, it slips through the receiver's hands.
Neal's coming off the field, maybe turned an ankle. And now he's going to take a seat. He can't get off the field.
Well, coaches, you know, sometimes they tell you, you know, I'm an old school guy. If you can get off the field, you get off the field. But coaches nowadays, they want their players to sit down, make sure they get the proper treatment, make sure that the trainers can come out and assess them. That allows another player to get back into the game. You know, that's just a smart move on his part.
You saw Neal stretch out for that pass, and I don't know if that's a cramp. It's a cold day. I doubt it.
Well, sometimes you do cramp up. What's funny is on these cold days, you don't drink as much because it's cold out, so you're not drinking as much fluids and Gatorades and waters to hydrate yourself properly like you do on a normal football day when it's a little bit warmer. So these players have to be careful. Coaches and trainers will tell you all the time, make sure you're drinking up and down the sideline. I'm sure they're telling the players that.
That brings up second down and 10, 9:03 to play in the first half. Knight again carries the ball wide open. Spins out of a tackle, then brought down at the 36-yard line. I've been impressed with his rushing game today. Perine again. They've used him a lot as a blocker today for the quarterback, Trevor Knight.
Well, I'd use him too. 243 pounds, I'd get behind him. But this is an option game. Knight has the ability to pitch the ball and keep it himself. And he's keeping and making smart decisions.
Straight ahead. Past the 35, Perine this time gets the touch. He played at Hendrickson High School last year, ran for nearly 1,500 yards his senior season with 12 touchdowns. And he's made the transition to Division I ball, I mean, smooth.
Smooth. And the coaches talked about his maturity, not just physically, but mentally as well. That's an impressive compliment by coaches at this level.
Nice cutback on that option once again. 29-yard line. Perine again, the ball carrier. We don't talk a lot about the fullbacks in this offense. You saw Flowers get a reception earlier. This time Ripkowski, number 48. Nice block up front to spring Perine. Under 8 minutes, Oklahoma moving the ball again. Second down and 5, leading 21-7. Quick hit, Perine. He took 2 Cyclones with him past the 20-yard line. Mutcherson, Darius White to the 18.
We've seen back-to-back runs. And with their top receivers out, Neal and Shepard out right now with injuries, they're going to continue to go to their well. They're going to continue to give the ball to their horses, Ford, Ross, and Perine. And they're getting great positive yards every time they touch the ball.
He picked up 12, 4 after the initial contact. So an 8-yard run plus 4. First and 10, 18-yard line. Wide open. Nice cut. Tackle from behind. Perine again. This has been his drive since they passed midfield. And he's down at the 7-yard line by Morrissey, the right end.
Right now, Iowa State's defensive linemen look like they're on skates. Oklahoma's offensive line is physical. They'll maul you. And once they get their hands on you, it's extremely difficult to escape as a defensive lineman. And they have to find a way to get off these blocks.
Perine, the featured back on this series. There he is again. 32 on a cutback, walks in. Touchdown, Sooners.
Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Well, they ran this play to the left. They ran it to the right. You can see the blocking up at the second level. And Perine goes in untouched. And they're going to continue to go to these plays. I mean, right now, Iowa State has no answer for them. They're not getting off blocks. They're struggling defensively. And Oklahoma now is starting to impose their will. They got back to the basics right there.
Honeycutt with a point after. 4 for 4 on the day, Oklahoma. What a powerful run game they put together here in Ames. They lead 28-7 on Fox Sports 1. Ryan Neese break it down. Stat comparison brought to you by Ford. Built Ford tough. 391 yards. That's not a ball game. That's a half. Not even a complete half.
It's not even a complete half. And the first downs also is an alarming statistic right there. When you look at Iowa State, only 7 first downs. Their best defense is their offense right now. And their offense, unfortunately, isn't moving the chains and keeping their defense off the field. So that's something they got to find a way to continue to get positive yards, continue to move the chains offensively. They have an opportunity right here.
On that drive, too, how impressive. All 90 yards on the ground. 9 plays, 8 were rushing. P-Line on a 7-yard touchdown, 28-7. Wimberly, here he comes, racing to the 40, racing to midfield, and thrown out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Hey, Iowa State down by 3 touchdowns, still fighting their way back. A 43-yard return.
Well, Wimberly does a nice job bringing the entire return team to him. He puts his foot in the ground, makes a nice cut, gets to the outside, and that's the kind of field position that this offense needs. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
6.5 minutes before halftime for Iowa State, down 28-7. And Richardson throws a strike, pitch and catch. Simple football at the 40-yard line. Navario Montgomery with the reception. He had to set out last year after transferring from South Florida. He is 6'5", big target, and they expect big things from him.
As they should, because he's a special talent. He has a big catch radius, very athletic, and he can jump up and catch almost any ball thrown in his direction.
We'll put Montgomery in motion on a toss out. And they're going to wave it incomplete. Montgomery got turned around, never got his feet under him. 3rd down and 2.
And that's okay. You try to take a shot right there on 2nd down, try to get a little screen pass, set that up. But 3rd down and 2 now, you have an opportunity. We talked about it. Move the chains, get a 1st down.
They're both from warm weather, by the way. Winter Park, Florida, making their way into Ames, Iowa to play college football. Oh, in traffic, tough throw, incomplete. See, Richardson more than once today, Ryan, has tried to squeeze that ball inside Oklahoma. Those linebackers at the 40-yard line. 4th and 2, crowd wants Paul Rhodes to go for it.
Richardson keeps throwing balls like that. He can get somebody hurt. He threw in the traffic right there, and his big-time tight end, Bibbs, came up a little bit slow. That's a tough throw, a tough catch, and obviously they weren't able to convert.
They keep Richardson in on a tie. Dropped it. 30-yard line, wide open. 6 was waiting. Kawan Floyd, the free safety out of Santa Monica Community College, turned upfield before he had the ball.
Kawan Floyd sneaks out of the backfield. He's playing the wing on the punt team. They go to the well. They go to trickery again. They find a way to dial up the right play. Got the right look. Unfortunately, the player doesn't execute. Got to find a way to come up with that catch. Your team needed that right there.
Well, the crowd wanted to go for it, and they did. They didn't realize the play that Rhodes had called. Oklahoma with it. They want a quick hit over the top, and Blake Bell. He drops the football, incomplete.
Well, that would have been another explosive play, another big-time play for Blake Bell. He comes up short, isn't able to secure that catch, and Trevor Knight, he keeps finding the open receivers. I mean, he's been very impressive this half, taking his time, patient, and throwing the ball very well to open men all over the place.
On 2nd down and 10, Oklahoma back to work. Quarterback keeper Knight finds room down the sideline, bumped out of bounds, and the mark will be at the 44-yard line and a 1st down OU. I knew Knight could run, but he has shown a little different speed, a different gear today.
Well, when you get behind those big boys, they pull around like that. Those are old student body rights. You just need a lane and a seam, and he's getting those lanes and he's getting those seams, and he's doing a nice job being patient. He understands what the defense is giving him on these option plays. He's keeping the ball instead of pitching it. He's doing it's been an impressive day thus far for him, both throwing the ball and running.
A gain of 16 yards, 1st down OU at the Iowa State 44-yard line. Here comes Ross. Still on his feet. Breaks the tackle. 30. Off to the races he goes. Taken down inside the 10-yard line.
What an impressive run by Alex Ross right there. I mean, the cut in the backfield, you think that that's just good enough to get to the next level. Puts his foot, stops on a dime, breaks a tackle, runs through blocks, runs through tackles, and he's off to the races and barely gets dragged down.
I'll be
just
honest,
before he scores.
I thought I was playing a video game. He did it all. 36 yards and stopped inside the 10-yard line. First and goal, Oklahoma. Around the edge comes Ross. And a shoestring tackle, no gain. Second down and goal.
We talked about it in the open. We talked about this run game of Oklahoma, how impressive it is. And they talk about the spread offense, the up-tempo offense. But when you watch these plays, it's just old-school football. It's power, it's sweeps, it's option plays. And if you can't defend that as a defense, these running backs, Ford, Ross, and Piron, they will light you up.
Ross goes out. Piron checks back in, number 32, on the right hip of Knight. Keeper, quarterback drops it in. Touchdown, Trevor Knight.
Oh, yeah, and Trevor Knight, he'll do it too.
Knight's second touchdown.
They had this option play. They got it dialed in right now, Craig. It's extremely hard to stop when you have a quarterback that understands and is patient with the football. And if you block the right people defensively, it's almost impossible to defend. And Iowa State right now is struggling defending these option plays.
Honeycutt with the PAT. What an afternoon it's been for Trevor Knight. You talked about the lane, sidesteps a tackler, and Oklahoma builds a lead of 35-7. Well, it is November 1st. It's a cool day, windy. What do? You got to warm up that pigskin.
Got to warm it up, soften it up a little bit. When those footballs get hard in the cold, they're hard to catch, they're hard to kick. And right now, they got a little technique over there using on Oklahoma sideline to keep those balls warm, keep them soft.
Well, the ground game's been impressive. The last two drives, 150 yards on the ground.
150 yards. You know, their two receivers are out right now. They're banged up. They don't even need to throw the ball right now. They don't have to worry about that. The way they're running the ball with Ford, Ross, and Piron, and then Knight, right now, they're unstoppable.
Teed up, 35-yard line. Kick into the wind. Short at the 5. West at the 21-yard line. Let's get you out to Rob Stone in our L.A. studios. Rob.
Coming up on the AT&T halftime, we preview a pivotal day in the Big 12 as 13th-ranked Baylor takes on Kansas and number 7 TCU visits number 20 West Virginia. Well, Oregon's national title hopes get derailed again, courtesy of Stanford. Plus, highlights of ranked East Carolina and Duke.
Thank you, Rob. Looking forward to that game tonight. Oregon-Stanford.
Oregon-Stanford. Stanford usually has Oregon's number. They have a hard time. Oregon has a hard time getting over that hump, playing that team. Oh, what a disciplined team. Physical Stanford is.
On a keeper. Charles Tapper chases down Richardson. A yard to the 22. Second down and 9. Oh, he's been bringing pressure off the edge all afternoon. And again, guess who? It's Stryker. They've almost given him free flight today, Ron. He has been on the edge, and he's been in that backfield almost from the opening kick.
Well, initially he's lined up like he's going to be in coverage, but he creeps up to the line of scrimmage, and he's timing the snap counts perfectly. And he's exploding past these tackles. Jake Campbell, 67, couldn't block him right there, and Stryker runs around the turn and gets a sack.
That's his 12th career sack, ties him with Brian Bosworth, for most all time from Oklahoma linebacker. Trying to find a seam, and a late flag at the 45-yard line. Parker was on coverage, and a good ball in traffic, and a flag's out.
That's your spot. Pass interference. Defense number 11. First down.
2-11's going at it, Ryan. Parker and Bibbs, who have to catch a football today.
Well, Bibbs runs a classic tight end route. He's just a little seam route up the field. He gives a little inside shake, and Parker 11 gets his hands, grabs Clyde, and that's the reason he got called for that penalty.
And the penalty gives Iowa State a first down at the 35-yard line. Now that looked like a design play as Richardson read the defense, and he runs the ball. Stryker was there. They're getting to know each other pretty good. 12 and 19.
By the end of the day, Stryker's going to know what flavor of gum Richardson chews. He's back there all the time.
Gain of 4, second down 6. That ball was poorly thrown and off the hands of Jarvis West. And he took a hit as well.
Well, you talked that it was poorly thrown, but he takes one right underneath the chin. I mean, they're putting pressure on Richardson every time he drops back for a pass. Sooner or later, it's going to get uncomfortable, and it's not going to look pretty for Richardson the rest of the game. He's got to find a way to settle down, get the ball out of his hands quicker, and they got to find a way to protect him.
3rd down and 6 from the gun goes Richardson. Stands, goes through the progression, throws over the top, incomplete. He went to the sideline, looked over the middle. Lazard was there, but coverage provided by Julian Wilson, and Iowa State's going to have to punt with just under 2.5 minutes to play in the first half.
Well, nice coverage once again by Oklahoma's defense. Richardson had the time he was looking for. He was patient, went through his progression, but he overthrew the football. Didn't give his receiver a chance. When you get an opportunity like that against Oklahoma, you got to take advantage of it.
Downing. Strong punt. Takes a bounce, still rolling inside the 5. And marked at the 2-yard line. We got brothers on the field today. Tom and Derek Farniak from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Middle school, high school teammates today. Maybe for the last time ever on a football field competing together. Tom's a senior center for Iowa State. Derek, offensive lineman for Oklahoma. His mother, Christine, as you saw, has that jersey combining both numbers of her sons. And by the way, she has 2 more sons in high school who I hear may be bigger than Tom and Derek.
Well, they have good genes. I mean, both of those brothers that are playing at this level, Iowa State and Oklahoma, that's impressive. And then they got 2 younger brothers that are coming up that they say are going to be bigger and better. I mean, that's impressive. I don't know what they're drinking in that household. Bottle that up and sell it.
1st and 10. Set up a screen. P. Ryan. There's the other brother, long walks. Backs up on that O-line for Iowa State. I like to see that food bill, by the way, at home.
I'm sure they put down their share amount of food.
Second down and 5. On a keeper. Knight sells it. Cuts outside. Shoestring tackle at the 38. Now a late flag. Here's Randy Crystal.
After the play, personal foul, number 58. Late hit. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That was Corey Morrissey, the right end, on a late hit call. Paul Rhodes is barking.
Corey Morrissey, number 58, the captain of the defense. He's going to come in a little bit late, right there on the left hand of your screen. Just a little push in the back. A little extracurricular activity that's not needed in that situation. You're not even near the ball carrier. You got to play smarter football than that.
Cyclones show a blitz. They back off on 1st and 10. Now they come. Knight in the pocket. Slings it far side through the hands and incomplete. It was Deron Neal, the intended receiver. Coming up is AT&T halftime report. Rob Stone, Joel Klatt, the coach, Dave Wanstead. They'll be in our Los Angeles studios. They talked about the pivotal day in the Big 12, and also they'll talk about Oregon. Can they get over the hump against Stanford? A minute 24 away from our LA studios. Second down and 10 has been dominated here in the first half by Oklahoma and their run game.
Iowa State's going to bring pressure right now on this play. Let's see how Oklahoma responds.
And that you can see play clock ran down to 2, and Knight was forced to call a timeout.
Oklahoma, it's their first 30 seconds in length.
It's a 30-second timeout. First timeout used in this half by OU or Iowa State.
Well, Iowa State was going to bring pressure right there. Trevor Knight recognized it. He looked to the sideline to see if he could get another call, maybe create an audible, maybe check out of the play they had called. Didn't find what he liked, didn't see what he liked. Said, hey, let's just call a timeout. Got a lot of time on the clock. They're going to still try to put points on the board. They're crossed over the 50. They're not relaxing here as an offense.
Saw Wally Burnham huddled up with his defense. It's been a rough go. They've had no answer for Oklahoma's ground game.
And it's really been the option game. It hasn't been really complicated. We haven't seen a number of exotic runs. It's the option to the right side. It's the option to the left side. Maybe mixing in a little bit of power football, a little bit of lead. But it's the option that's really been hurting this defense.
How about that? 128 yards, Knight 123. And that's in the first half. Knight stands flush from the pocket on his back foot, slings it over the middle, picked off 25-yard line. Sam E. Richardson. Second interception for the Iowa State secondary.
Sam Richardson in the right place at the right time. And Trevor Knight, he made a poor decision early in the game. Richardson capitalized on it. And once again, the old rule, every quarterback coach will tell you, every offensive coordinator will tell a quarterback, never throw back across your body, back into the middle of the field. Defenses are going to take advantage of that. The probability of interception is extremely high. And right there, Trevor Knight throws it back across his body into bad coverage, and Sam E. Richardson is all over it for a second interception.
And his third of the season. Second turnover for OU. There's time and timeouts for Iowa State. Crowd wanted something downfield on a 3-yard loss back to the 21-yard line. Don't forget Oklahoma, Ryan, gets the ball. They deferred. They get the ball to start the second half, and they've got a lead of 35-7.
Well, that's one of the reasons why it's going to be important for them defensively to find a way right now to shut down this Iowa State offense and not give them any hope.
Richardson over the middle. Dumps it. It's caught on the hands of Lazard. Dominic Alexander with the tackle. That brings up third down and 7 as the clock is running up on 30 seconds left. Richardson looks right, keeps the football. First down. Oh, nice move. And he's driven down at the 41-yard line. Nice cut. Ahmad Thomas brought him down. First down, but time is running away from Iowa State, and they'll call a timeout.
Timeout. Iowa State. That's their first. It's 30 seconds in length.
You're down 35-7. They were a little patient on that last play. They didn't seem rushed. They didn't seem to have a sense of urgency. Now all of a sudden they get a big play, a nice run by Richardson. You call the timeout, but you don't leave yourself with a lot of time on the clock. I'm not sure if they use their timeouts in the proper way right there before the end of this half.
And Ron, we should point out that Richardson is the leading rusher for this Iowa State football team. Wimberly, about 270 on the season, over 300 rushing yards for Richardson. He averages about 12 carries and 50 yards a game. So he is known to run the football. They've wanted him to just make the right reads and throw the football before he runs.
Well, Mangino, when we talked to him yesterday, the offensive coordinator said, I want my quarterback to sit in the pocket. I want him to be patient. I don't want him to rush himself. But when we call up designed runs, he's got to take full advantage of those opportunities.
18 seconds to play in this first half. They'll go play action. He's out of the pocket, looking downfield. Up top he goes. Home run ball. Oh, incomplete. That flag is out. Julian Wilson on the back of Davario Montgomery, and a flag comes out.
Pass interference, defense number 2. 15-yard penalty, free to the spot, first down.
Well, Julian Wilson right at the bottom of your screen, towards the left of the screen. You see him as a defensive back number 2. You just see a little tug, a little pull of the jersey with the right hand. And the backside referee catches it. He's all over the top of that, and that's why the flag comes out.
Chance to hit a couple of strikes at the end zone. They said they're going to play to the sideline, and slipping and falling. That ball's incomplete. They wanted Montgomery, but he lost his footing. That stops the clock. One more shot. They can go middle of the field and try to hit a home run ball and catch Oklahoma sleeping. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, they need to get themselves in position so they can throw that home run ball. They have 2 6'5" wide receivers that can go up and make a big-time catch.
The wind is behind Richardson's back. Pressured, throws. Incomplete. A good idea. 2 on the clock. 3rd down and 10. I'll tell you, pressure has been the key as well for Oklahoma's defense. That time, Matthew Romar, redshirt freshman, number 92, he was in there on top of Richardson.
And Montgomery was open, but the pressure didn't allow Richardson to throw an accurate football.
Now they drop 6 with 2 seconds left. Over the middle, they'll play soft. Setting up a block. Oh, big hit. Clock runs out, but a nice play to end the half by Iowa State. And the first catch for the tight end, E.J. Bibbs. Oklahoma puts together 480 total yards in the first half. They lead 35-7. We now go to Rob Stone in our studios in L.A. Rob? Back to Fox Sports 1 college football presented by K Jewelers. Craig Boberjack back along with Ryan Neese. 35-7 here in Ames at the half. And I think if you watch this game, Oklahoma fans have to be happy. I tell you, it's been a dominating first half on the ground, and give some love to that offensive line. They pushed holes and they protected.
Well, maybe a chilly day, but this offense is on fire right now, and it starts up front. Their offensive line right now is moving piles. I mean, they are physical. They are mauling Iowa State's offensive line and creating protection in the passing game, but in the running game specifically, Thompson, Snead, Darlington, Evans, Williams, those guys are doing an excellent job. And Iowa State on the other side, in that first half, they've had a number of miscues. I mean, they've had their chances, but unfortunately, they've had drop balls. They haven't been able to complete passes. They haven't been able to move the chains, and even when they tried to go for it on a fake punt, they weren't able to complete that and convert that. So hopefully they're able to correct some of those things, and if they can, they'll find a way to get back in this game. They just got to take it one step at a time.
Time for our first half stats, brought to you by Geico, and the numbers tell the story. 480 total yards, 311 on the ground. And Ryan, I haven't called a lot of games where you see 7 yards average per play gained.
It's very rare. I mean, that when you look at those stats just in the left-hand column, I mean, that looks like a complete game. That's just one half of football. And last year they rushed for over 400 yards against this team. And right now they're on pace for 600 yards. I mean, that's an impressive performance in one half of football. And it starts with just basic fundamental running plays. Blocking the man they're supposed to block, blocking guys that are supposed to make the tackles, and then obviously Trevor Knight and the running backs are doing the rest and taking it the distance.
We talked about the 2 razor-fine losses for Oklahoma. 5 points separate them from 5-2 and 7-0. Lost by 4 at TCU. Lost 2 weeks ago to Kansas State, 31-30. or this Oklahoma team would be talked about in that 14 playoff.
Well, we saw the stat earlier. Coach Stoops knows how to get his team to respond. He's 31-0 after a loss. I mean, he knows how to get his team fired up and play well the following weeks.
Ross takes the kick back up to the 24-yard line. Let's talk about Trevor Knight. He'll be at the helm again to start the second half, but he did it all. Run, pass. He's a powerful runner.
Well, he started off the game extremely hot, and he finished that half extremely hot. He came out, threw the ball very well down the field. Big-time passes, explosive plays, and then he showed off that he's the reason why he's a dual threat at the quarterback position. He's fast, he's very elusive in the open field, and he's a smart football player at the quarterback position. He knows when to keep the football and tuck it and run for positive yards.
Oklahoma starts his first drive up 35-7 at their own 24-yard line. Alex Ross in that backfield with Knight. Option around the corner. Ooh, pads are popping. And Ross takes a hit from Cotton Moya. No, he was injured his freshman year, Ryan, the free safety, or he would have started last season. He's out of Bakersfield, California.
Cotton Moya said, hey, if you're going to come around this corner, Ross, I'm going to give you a nice little kiss on the sideline.
On a roll out is Knight. Ooh, big stick. Mutcherson, Dimitri Flowers, that helmet right on his numbers, and a flag's out, 35-yard line.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 36. He was covered up. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Ryan, down 35-7, Iowa State still laying the wood out there.
You heard it right there. Richardson comes up, lays some wood right there, and you know what I like? That's a slobber knocker of a hit. Come up, be physical from the safety positions, and Cotton Moye and Richardson are two very physical players for Iowa State's defense.
Penalty makes it first down and 15. First minute here, third quarter, Oklahoma. Play clock to 6. Knight. Play action, looks over the middle. Oh, off the hands, incomplete. We had a man wide open, and that man is Quick. Micaiah Quick, incomplete. Second and 15.
Micaiah Quick, he's going to sneak in. He does a nice job using his hands to create separation, get inside the defensive back. And right there, Cotton Moye just tries to find a way to get his hands on it, but, you know, nice way, breaks up the ball.
3 wide receivers near side. Second down, 15. Knight slings it. This time Quick with the catch and tries to dance away from a tackler at the 35-yard line. I want to ask you, during your playing days, I mean, this is November 1st. First time the cold weather has really come across college football. In Big 12 play, a lot of guys dropping the football.
And that ball, we saw the Oklahoma sidelines, they were trying to warm it up to make it softer. When it's cold, that ball's hard. It's like a rock. And it can make it extremely difficult to catch at times.
Yeah, I think OU's having some troubles. Iowa State as well. Third down and 10. Knight. Good protection. Waits patiently and finds his target. Deron Neal at the 50-yard line. Move the chains, first down OU.
That was a well-designed play. They had an underneath route to clear out the defense, and all of a sudden the second level route opens up. Perfect throw. Strike right there.
Gain of 15. Ross, the ball carrier. Methodical, moving down the field, running and mixing the run and pass at the 43-yard line is Oklahoma.
We mentioned it coming into this half, and we saw it demonstrated that entire half. The offensive line for Oklahoma continues to impose their will. They're running the ball extremely well because of the offensive line. And Trevor Knight has time in the pocket because of this offensive line.
Knight from the gun. Pulls it out of the belly of Pirine and steps out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Pirine, Ripkowski out there blocking ahead. I'd say this option has been unstoppable today in Ames.
Well, one of the things that they're doing, when you watch what Oklahoma's doing, they are pinning the edge of the defense. And anytime you can pin to the edge of the defense and circle the defense, you're going to give yourself as a chance as an offense. Oh, Iowa State has to find a way to turn the ball back defensively.
Knight with a career high, 133 yards on the ground, 11 carries. This time he'll hand it off to Pirine. Well, he's making the Cyclones work. Again, Ripkowski out there with a block. 1, 2, 3. Iowa State defenders brought him down. That was a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. 8th play of this opening drive in the 3rd quarter on its way. Under 12 minutes to play in the 3rd.
They've lined up in this formation before. Watch the option to the top of the screen.
Oklahoma going into the wind. Knight. Again, great protection, rolls out, slings it off his back foot. He's already thrown 2 picks in this game, and this time smartly drops it out of bounds.
That's been the formation of choice this entire game. Typically, they run the option to the top of the screen. That time, they saw an opportunity to take advantage of the passing game. Unfortunately, weren't able to convert. But that's created a number of mismatches for them offensively, and they've tried to take advantage of it, and they continue to line up in those formations.
I'll tell you, those numbers on Knights are gaudy. Over 12 yards a touch.
He's playing out of his mind. When you got a player that's well prepared and playing with the confidence he has, he's going to put up big-time numbers.
Oklahoma 3rd and 5 on 3rd down conversions. They need 6 yards to keep this drive alive. Knight slingshots it in traffic, incomplete. Matthew Thomas, the right corner, the cover man. That brings up 4th down.
Well, Matthew Thomas, I think he might have got away with one right there. Very rarely do I say a defensive player is, has a pass interference call, Craig, but right there, you got there a little bit too early, and I think he could have got called for a pass interference. Unfortunately, referees didn't throw the flag right there.
2 weeks ago, rough game for Honeycutt, but Stoops says, go kick it. He's 9 at 12 from field goal range, his longest 44. This will be a 45-yard attempt. If he makes it, longest make of the year. It's up into the wind. And good from 45. All-time Big 12 leader with his 72nd field goal made, passing Mason Crosby of Colorado. 38-7 OU. And a big welcome back to Fox Sports 1 College Football, presented by Kay Jewelers, Ames, Iowa, Jack Trice Stadium. Getting a facelift, as you mentioned earlier, Ryan. About 55,000. It holds. It's going to hold 61 beginning next September. New stands, new scoreboard. That last drive, 50 yards, 10 plays, 3.5 minutes. And the field goal by Honeycutt is season long of 45. Four-yard line. And Jarvis West past the 15 to the 19-yard line. We talked about this being Jack Trice Stadium. First African-American here at Iowa State, ran track on the football teams in 1923. His place on the football team, Ryan, wasn't really universally accepted. He was injured in a game on the road at Minnesota. He had trouble breathing afterward. He passed away a few days later with internal bleeding, and the stadium is named for him. The students went to work in 1990. They petitioned and said, look, we need to honor this man. And today, Jack Trice Stadium.
Unbelievable story, a story of inspiration, a story of a young man that stood in a test of adversity and overcame a lot. And unfortunately had a tragic death. But for the university, the student body to rally, to honor him, well, that's impressive.
A gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. On a rollout goes Richardson. Incomplete. That ball was deflected by Tapper. Actually, it looked like it hit the back of Jake Campos, his left tackle.
Receiver, downfield, number 11. He was covered up. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's the tight end, E.J. Bibbs. They have put a blanket on Bibbs today. One reception.
They have. He's got 1 reception. He's had a number of drops as well. but they need to find a way to get him more involved in the second half. He is the big-time threat at the tight end position.
He had a slow start to the season with a knee scoped in the summer, and they felt like the last couple of weeks he's found his rhythm. Blitz from the edge. Richardson escapes, has room, spins out of a tackle, still on his feet to the 25. Julian Wilson with the tackle.
Eric Stryker comes off the edge again. I mean, he flies in there. He's like a bird going across the screen. But Richardson, I mean, he shows off his shiftiness. He's running for his life right now, just trying to find a way to make something happen.
I'll tell you, impressive, 221 pounds. And he's got great foot speed. Elusive, 3rd down and 4. Play clock at 6. Snap gets away. Right at the 1st down marker, but misfires. Jordan Evans was covering Wimberly out of the backfield, and that's going to force a punt for Iowa State.
You can just see Sam Richardson's reaction right there. Just a lot of frustration. He had an open receiver. He put, it's too fast of a football that he threw right there. Just wasn't really good and wasn't accurate. You got to find a way to just calm down. Now, you just can't let the frustration overtake you right there in this situation. You're the leader of this team. Find a way to make plays and get your team back in the game.
That ball is out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. Going to run it upfield, and it's going to be at the 45-yard line. Well, we're going to go. This is Iowa. It's corn country. We'll take you on a little maze that will be amazing when we come back. Not far from Ames in Carlisle, Iowa, is the North River Corn Maze. And this giant maze was originally created to honor the 132nd Iowa Air National Guard. But in 2013, everyone decided the maze would honor the average Iowa farmer. Is this corn country? And I understand we lost a couple of crew members in that maze.
We did. We're lucky they had cell phones in the 2-mile maze. They got lost. Everybody's always seeking out an adventure.
Oklahoma back to the air. Neal with the catch. Past midfield to the 46-yard line. That's amazing. Get it? Thank you.
Amazing. It really is. I mean, you could get lost in there. You could spend a lot of time. We're always looking for a little adventure every city we go into.
That's the beauty of college football. Last 4 possessions, touchdown, pick, and a field goal. Knight, the high snap, takes it, hands it down to P. Ryan. And he's punishing runner. 40-yard line, maybe the 39. He took on 3 Cyclones. And you can take on as many as you want when you go 243.
P. Ryan, he took on the entire team right there. I mean, they were on his back, and he was still able to move the pile.
Clock runs up on 9 minutes. Knight, play action. Up top he goes, and the ball floats away out of bounds. And it's incomplete. Tell you what, I think it's tough throwing right now. The wind's really picked up, Ryan, since we kicked this game off at 11 o'clock Central Time. It's blowing into the face now of Knight.
And sometimes when you throw into the wind like that, it can hold the ball up and let it hang up right there. He actually overthrew his wide receiver. The quarterbacks, they have to be able to adjust. The wind wasn't a factor early in the game. Now in the second half, it's starting to pick up.
Stay close. Kansas Baylor coming up next on Fox Sports 1. Knight swings it on a screen, and it's dropped. Quick at the 40-yard line. Again, another drop football.
Michael Quick's going to go into the film room tomorrow. He's going to watch that, and he's going to be really disappointed. It was a well-designed play. The blocking was set up perfectly. He catches that ball. He might hit his head on the goalpost.
3rd down and 10. Iowa State, the 3-down lineman. Play clock under 10. Knight from the gun. Stands, slings it, far near side, caught at the 25. And the yards keep piling up. How about this? Stoops is 61-3, and he should be when you have over 500 yards of total offense. And not even through 3 quarters, this OU team has put up 500 265 yards of offense.
I mean, they are on pace to break some records today, and you're absolutely right. If you put up over 500 yards,
you better win.
You better win. That stat was very revealing when you have a high-powered offense, just how dominant you can be in college football.
Oklahoma with a timeout.
Timeout, Oklahoma.
So they'll burn the first of three.
It's 30 seconds in length.
You heard Randy Crystal. It's a 30-second timeout. In college football coming up on Fox Sports 1 today. 14 straight hours of college football to be exact. Kansas visiting number 13 Baylor. That's next, so stay right here. 4 straight games continue on Fox and Fox Sports 1.
Who do you like in that Utah-Arizona State game?
Well, I tell you, 3 weeks ago, I would have taken Arizona State, but Travis Wilson, they finally decided to go with Wilson at Utah. But you know what? In college football today, especially Pac-12, flip a coin.
I'll tell you what, Utah's defense, the way they're flying around, how physical they are, I think they can play with anybody in the Pac-12.
Still alive in that Pac-12 chase is Utah. A lot of teams still are, as is Oklahoma for the Big 12. Knight with a run. And he's dropped inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Mutcherson, the strong safety, came up to make the tackle. Nice been sharp, crisp, and confident.
He's going to have to ice his hamstrings after this game. As much as he's running the football, I mean, the explosive plays that he's getting on the ground game, and there's plenty of time in this game left for him to continue to rack up some yards. Right there, another designed quarterback draw, nobody in the middle of the field, and he runs, gets 10, 15 yards.
Second down and short, just 3 yards to move the chains. They go right to the heart of Iowa State. P. Ryan. And I tell you, Ryan, it doesn't take too much knowledge of football to realize what's going on here. It is a dominating front line with an undersized Iowa State defensive front. They are just play after play wearing down the Cyclones.
Yeah, they are. And I remember playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We had an undersized defense up front, linebackers, but we would go against teams like the Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings with imposing big physical linemen. We had to use our athleticism to advantage. We had to rally and get the troops to run around and find a way to tackle ball carriers, just like Iowa State did right there.
Knight slipped a bit and took a fall. He was reading outside and tried to cut back in. How about OU? 30 first downs with still 7 minutes to play in the third. A loss of 3, second down and 13. Knight straight back, slings it over the middle, caught, touchdown, Oklahoma. Blake Bell.
Well, Blake Bell, number 10, runs a little skinny post, gets inside Sam Richardson, the defensive back, number 4. And that's an easy pitch and catch. When you got a big target, 6'6", 259 pounds, Trevor Knight's going to dial up that pass and be able to put it right on the numbers.
And second touchdown of the day for Blake Bell. A quarterback turned tight end. And the PAT by Honeycutt splits the uprights. Dominating performance by the Sooners. They lead on the road 45-7. Back in Ames, yeah, it's sunny, but it's getting colder. Winds picked up. Oklahoma having their way 45-7.
You know what I love about that picture? You see everybody's real close together. You could just tell how, because sun's out, but people are right next to each other, bundled up, scarves, beanies on, blankets. Got to stay warm on the hill.
Bell with a 17-yard touchdown, just over 3 minutes on that scoring drive, and they cover 55 yards. Knight with 5 touchdowns on the day, 3 passing and 2 by ground. Into the wind, short kick, 16-yard line. Jarvis West One man to beat. Beautiful cutback. Still on his feet. Slices to the 39-yard line. Time for a Lowe's Never Stop Improving game break. Let's go to Los Angeles, and here's Greg.
All right, guys, Wisconsin's Melvin Gordon at it again. He reverses course, and he goes 51 yards. It's his 6th straight 100-yard rushing game. That's his 2nd longest active streak in the FBS. Wisconsin all over Rutgers 30-0 in the 3rd. Craig, Ryan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Greg. Rogers, big day. Big day for Wisconsin. Big day for P. Ryan. Big day for Oklahoma. Iowa State starts at their own 39-yard line. Tough throw. All the way across the field. And Jawan Wesley with the reception. That is a tough throw. Tougher than people realize.
I mean, to be able to throw the ball like that on a laser across the field, it looks easy, but that's a difficult throw just because of the distance that ball has to travel.
Pickup of 2, 2nd down 8. On a pump. Then a lob over the top. Montgomery. Touchdown, Cyclones. Ryan Richardson's pump froze that secondary, and Montgomery got behind them.
Well, Zach Sanchez, the corner that we talked about early in the game, he's got 5 interceptions on the day. In the season. He got a little greedy right there, saw the pump, saw the eyes of the quarterback, but Montgomery wasn't running a slant route. He was running a go route, and Richardson put it on the numbers, just lofted it up to him, and he was off to the races for that touchdown.
Extra point, netting. And it's up and good. 2nd touchdown of the day for Iowa State. They're still playing hard, but down 45-14. The 59-yard touchdown catch by Montgomery is the longest play from scrimmage this year for Iowa State. 20 seconds. How about that drive? That's a Baylor drive. That's a Baylor kind of drive. 2 plays, 61 yards.
That's a Big 12 drive. We see that all the time in the Big 12. Those explosive, quick strike offenses, they can put up numbers. They can put them up quick with plays like that.
Ross and Neal back to receive the kick for Oklahoma. No return. As it lands 5 yards deep in the end zone. And take us through this touchdown.
And you had an all-out blitz right here. And all of a sudden, Montgomery's going to run a slant and go. And when you have an all-out blitz, the corners are taught to stand flat-footed. They think they're going to break on the football. And Zach Sanchez takes the cheese. And Richardson at the quarterback position has just enough time to deliver a pass down the field for Montgomery. A nice job protecting the quarterback, giving him enough time, and the receiver working and getting open. Nice job by Iowa State's offense right there to get that play done.
45-14, Oklahoma back with the football. 6 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Option, nice tripped up. The Iowa State staying with it. Darian Cotton, the strong safety, slid in and tripped up Trevor Knight. He'll lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
That was the first time I saw the option play defended well. They covered the pitch man, and they had somebody for the quarterback. He came up and made the tackle.
Knight from the gun. Oh. Big hit. Middle screen, came back for it, and Furch said a quick hello to Mika Quick.
Drake Furch said, hello, I'm going to come off this block and make a hit right here. Boom, that's a hit right there.
3rd down and 10. That was a yard the hard way. As we roll up on 5 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Knight pressured, slides out of the pocket. He has room to run. Cuts to the sideline. Can't throw the stiff arm, and he's chased down of bounds back around the 34. That brings a 4th down for Oklahoma.
And Kenneth Lynn did a nice job taking a proper angle to get Trevor Knight out of bounds right there. He didn't necessarily bring him down, but he did a nice job forcing Trevor Knight to try to break a tackle, and he went out of bounds. They got off the field. Iowa State, nice job defensively right there.
I think that was Iowa State's best defensive stand for Wally Burham's defense so far in this game. Fair catch, 36-yard line. Well, we talked about the new $60 million renovation. It has begun at Jack Trice Stadium. The south end zone being enclosed with an added upper and lower seating bowl. It will include club seats and a new HD video board.
It's going to be impressive. You see it's being built right now. It's going to be finished before next season. I know the fans around here are going to be excited to experience that new building.
This is all new, so they're going to match it basically end zone to end zone. There was a flag on that last play and a holding call. So Iowa State will take over at the 27-yard line. They've been putting pressure on the edge all day. This time they lay back, and the pitch and catch far side right on the hands of Bibbs. Let's see if they can't go to Bibbs a little bit more here in the second half. Against Texas 2 weeks ago, 10 receptions, 73 yards, and a couple of touchdowns.
And right there, he was lined up like a wide receiver. I mean, he's not your traditional tight end where he's always on the line of scrimmage. They move him all over the place. He has that versatility, and if they can find the right mismatch, they're going to take advantage of it.
Gain of 6, second down and 4. Boy, Neely was hit. I mean, just about the time he touched the football.
He had nowhere to go. When we talked about the versatility of Bibbs, that time he was lined up in the backfield blocking. I mean, they use him as a wide receiver. They use him as an H-back and as a tight end.
Iowa State 5 of 14 on third downs. They need 8 yards to keep this drive alive. That ball's out. Ball's kicked. Oklahoma covers it up at the 15-yard line. Jordan Evans jumped on that loose football. And again, it's been the story all day. A lot of pressure on Richardson.
And he's trying his best to stay in the pocket and keep his eyes down the field. And he's fighting for extra yards right there. But all quarterback coaches will tell you, you got to find a way to secure the football. And in traffic, when that pressure's around you right there, you got to protect the hopes and the dreams of the team. It gets away from them. And Jordan Evans bounces on the football and recovers it.
Oklahoma with 2 turnovers in the ball game, the first by Iowa State. And that sets the football at the 15-yard line. Oklahoma takes over with a 45-14 lead. P-Ryan breaks the tackle past the 10. That play demonstrates how strong that young man is.
I was just going to say, I haven't seen him go backwards once. I mean, even at the point of contact, very rarely do you see him get turned back. He drives his feet, and that's hard for young players to do and learn. But when you watch him run, to see him accelerate his feet at the point of contact and fight for extra yards, it's impressive. You can see his numbers on the day. He's got 83 yards. The entire Knight, Ross, all of them are putting up big-time numbers.
The average is P-Ryan, 94 yards a game. He'll get it again. No. Knight pulled it out of his belly and runs it in. Touchdown behind the blocking of Flowers. Knight is running the option as good as I've ever seen him.
Simple, but very effective. Trevor Knight keeps the football right there. I mean, he fooled the entire defense of Iowa State. He keeps it. He runs to the edge of the end zone and gets in for a touchdown. And you're right, Craig. He's making really smart decisions, keeping the football, and he's running that option to perfection.
Honeycutt makes it a 52-14. It started with that fumble that was recovered by Oklahoma. And then it was Knight who worked his magic. 52-14, Sooners. Trevor Knight celebrating on that Oklahoma sideline. They took advantage of that Iowa State miscue, and they've built now an impressive lead of 52-14. 18th ranked in the country. Trying to make a statement today on the road.
And they definitely are making a statement, and they're showing the variety of weapons that they have offensively. This isn't traditional Oklahoma football that they've shown all year long on the offensive side of the ball. They've kind of gone back to what they've done in years past, and it's working extremely well. They have weapons on the outside. They have a great running game, and Trevor Knight's playing out of his mind right now.
Iowa State will return. Jarvis West knocked down inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. Time for a game break. Los Angeles we go. Here's Greg.
All right, we go to Heinz Field after a Pitt field goal to tie it. This is Duke's Devon Edwards. He thought about turning to basketball when no one seemed interested in giving him a scholarship except for Duke. He's become one of the best return men in the game. Third kickoff return for a touchdown of his career. It would give Duke the lead. Pitt has since tied it 38 all fourth quarter. Greg, Ryan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Greg. Wild one there. Pitt's come back to tie the game. I'm looking forward to this movie, by the way. Dumb and Dumber.
They took our Halloween costumes from last night.
Under 3 minutes left, third quarter. Iowa State got to go back to work, no gain, as Wimberly is hit and knocked down hard by Alexander, inside linebacker.
And Iowa State has a number of young players, both on the offense and defensive side of the ball. Very rarely do you get opportunities to have live situations. You have to take full advantage of every single play that's left in this game and continue to work and continue to get better.
Second down and 10. And Richardson, ball batted down, and it's incomplete. DJ Ward.
Well, DJ Ward's right here, number 87. I'm sorry, he's right there. He's just going to come up right up there and bat the ball down right there. 87, not 85, but DJ Ward comes in, bats the ball. That's an easy play for him, an athletic play to jump up and knock that ball down.
Third down and 10. Richardson reading that defense. Now he steps up. Tackled from behind at the 19-yard line. Fourth down.
And this is when you're going to start to see Oklahoma's going to start to rotate players in, both offensively and defensively. I'm curious to know if Trevor Knight's going to continue, how much longer he'll continue to play. Now with a comfortable lead, you can start mixing in some of your younger players to give them more experience as well.
I was starting to mix in some defensive players up front for Oklahoma. Sanchez back to receive the punt. Oklahoma will have the ball at the 44-yard line. Coming up next, Fox Sports 1 continues its 14 straight hours of college football, including Kansas visiting number 13 Baylor down in Waco. So stay right here. 4 straight games continue on Fox Sports 1. Well, Knight has done his job. And Cody Thomas, the redshirt freshman, will get some reps here. He's a 6'4", 210-pound redshirt freshman. And he'll throw. And a little behind, and it's incomplete.
Right there, he demonstrated his arm strength. And actually, Cody plays for Oklahoma's baseball team. And he plays in the outfield, so you know he has a very strong arm. He can throw it all over the place. He's played a couple of snaps this year. So this is another opportunity for him to continue to develop as a young quarterback as well.
Oh, I'll give you a rundown on Knight's day. 230 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had 7 different receivers. And then he also carried 16 times for 146, 3 touchdowns. The 146, a career high. That's power football.
Those old knee high knee drills. You used to watch that and used to remember having to do that as a offensive player when I was in high school. And right there, you can demonstrate why you have to have the high knee drills.
Third down and short. Ross squares up those pads and powers for a first down. Over 600 yards. And the last time it was 607 against Tulsa. 617. That's not even through 3 quarters.
I was going to say, we still have a whole quarter of football left. And this offense and the way this offensive line blocks, I'm sure they're going to continue to pile on more yards.
Cody Thomas takes over for Knight on this drive. Under a minute to go. Ball bounded down. Incomplete, second down. That was Drake Furch, the Sam strong side linebacker.
Drake Furch, number 3, you're going to see him come right off the edge, right in the quarterback's face, and jump up and time his jump perfectly to back that football down. And when you're a quarterback just getting in the game, sometimes it takes you a little bit of time to figure out passing lanes, figure out where pressure's coming from. Cody will start to settle down as this game goes along.
Thomas only 6 attempts before today passing. He'll get some work here. Straight ahead running. P-Ryan.
When you're P-Ryan or when you're Ross or when you're Ford, you're averaging the number of yards you're averaging per carry, they can continue to just give the ball to these running backs, Craig, and continue to move the chains. It's 3rd and long right now. They could run the option right now. The quarter's going to run out, but going into this 4th quarter, we're going to see a steady dose of this run game.
4th quarter, straight ahead. Dominating performance by the Sooners. After a bye week, they've hit the road to Ames. 52 points on the board. 4th quarter, straight ahead on Fox Sports 1. Welcome back to Fox Sports 1 College Football, presented by K Jewelers. Back in Ames, Iowa. It's been a steady dose of Oklahoma from the start. 21 in the first, 14 in the second, 17 points scored in the third.
Right now, they've crossed over the 50, and they're marching to put more points on the board.
With Cody Thomas at quarterback, Knight's done for the day. They throw that ball low and complete around the shoe tops. You talked about run. I'm surprised Stoops just hadn't decided just to put the ball on the ground and get out of here.
Well, that was a 3rd down and long situation, and he's still trying to get these younger players to understand situational football. He's trying to get good work out of them. That pass was there. And he just missed it. He threw it to the ground. He was a little late on the pass, but they're going to continue to do what they do. And I'm sure they're going to start running the ball a little bit more as we move on, Craig, as this game starts to wind down.
Barnett trying to pin Iowa State inside their own 10. And that's what he does. That ball takes a left turn out of bounds at around the 9-yard line. Oklahoma defensively, I'd say they've had quite a day, but it's been led by the left onside backer, Eric Stryker.
He's been all over the place. He bats balls down. He's been in the backfield sacking the quarterback. He's extremely explosive off of the edge to rush the quarterback. He comes on blitzes. He drops in coverage. And I talked to Teddy Lehman, who played linebacker for Oklahoma back in the day, played in the NFL, and he told me before the game, Ryan, you got to watch Eric Stryker. He's the best player we have on defense. He'll fly around and make plays, and we've seen it all day long.
Far side wide open, but misfired, and it's over the top hands of Montgomery. So Stryker to 12 career sacks, tied 4th all time with the man we used to know as Boz.
As the Boz.
Brian Bosworth.
And he was a special talent, the linebacker position, and everybody knows him across the country. And Eric Stryker's becoming one of those guys, too. He's well known all over the place for his abilities and his play.
Tyler Brown gets a try at tailback. He's a redshirt freshman out of Lakeland, Florida. He had 3 carries coming in, so a young guy getting a rep or 2 here in the 4th quarter. Brown puts a hand down, picks up a couple more yards to make it 8, an 8-yard pickup.
And what's interesting, when you look at Iowa State's roster, they have a number of players from the state of Florida, especially down that I-4 corridor, Orlando, Lakeland, Tampa, Clearwater, all those areas. They're getting a lot of players out of those cities.
Pitch and catch, the Florida pipeline. Montgomery, one of those Florida players you spoke of out of Winter Park. Nice reception. So he's got a big future ahead. 6'5", 220, only a sophomore.
We talked with the coaches. They said the NFL scouts are already come around checking him out because of his ability and his size.
That's a 21-yard gain. Iowa State tries a run against the front of Oklahoma. Brown stopped in his tracks. Maybe a yard, second down. Gino Grissom made that initial hit. First time we called 85's number today, Gino. Montgomery with 3 grabs, 88 yards.
He's second. Gino's second on the team in TFLs. He's in the backfield most of the day. He's a disruptive player, too.
I like that throw. Off the hands, incomplete. Richardson stood tall. He had pressure up the middle and on both sides. But he had a great delivery. Incomplete.
And you're Sam Richardson, and you step back at the quarterback position, you drop back, and you sit in that pocket with the heat that Oklahoma's bringing. You take a hit like that, you need E.J. Bibbs, your tight end, to come up with that catch. You're depending on him, you're counting on him, and it didn't happen right there.
Iowa State 5 of 15, converting third downs. Pressure again, off his back foot, lobs it up, and it's out of bounds, and it's incomplete. Dondre Daly, the intended receiver. And Richardson shaken up. It's been a punishing day for Iowa State's quarterback.
I'm sure if we track the numbers, and I bet our stat guys have, the number of times he's been hit today. But right now, he gets banged up once again, and you can just see his body language. It just doesn't look good. He looks tired. He looks frustrated.
Cyclones punt, straight up, straight down. Takes an Iowa State bounce just inside the 25. And Oklahoma back with the football in a big lead when we come back on Fox Sports 1. Welcome back to Fox Sports 1 College Football, presented by Kay Jewelers. Oklahoma 18th ranked in the country, dominating Iowa State 52-14.
Dominating on them all faces. We've talked a lot about the offense, but we got to give some credit to this defense. Oklahoma's defensive front seven has been flying around. The secondary's done a nice job covering some of these big wide receivers that Iowa State has. It's been a complete team effort today.
Thomas back at quarterback for Oklahoma. He'll pull it out of the belly of P. Ryan and fall forward to the 29. Clock runs under 13 minutes. Brackens with the tackle, number 14 for Iowa State.
You don't see a lot of dual sport athletes, but be able to play quarterback. Jameis Winston's another guy who plays quarterback and plays for the baseball team. But Cody Thomas, that's pretty impressive. And you can just see his athleticism, the way he can run right there.
Well, he's very mobile for a 6'4" quarterback, and he pumps, fakes to the near side, runs it for a first down. He'll be at the 38-yard line and move the chains. Thomas getting some valuable snaps here late in this ball game. Two young quarterbacks at Oklahoma. Knight, a sophomore. Thomas, the redshirt freshman. Over 400 yards now rushing for OU on 47 carries. On a play action pass, Thomas up high. It'll fall incomplete.
Well, they loaded up the box. Iowa State did. obviously trying to do everything they can defensively to slow down this running attack from Oklahoma. They had man-to-man coverage right there on the outside. Nice job by the corners to match up man-to-man and make it for a difficult throw for the quarterback.
Well, Josh Heupel, Sooner fans, college football fans know that name. He's the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma. He quarterbacks or also coaches the quarterbacks, as he should. But he's got a couple of fine young players to coach, but that time Thomas is picked. Luke Knott. Right place, right time. I don't think Cody ever saw him.
Well, Cody Thomas is looking at the flat route. He's waiting for the flat route to clear so the curl route can come in behind him. And all of a sudden, Luke Knott is sitting right there in that curl window, right where he's supposed to be. A nice drop by him in that zone coverage defensively. And he comes up with a catch. If they're going to throw it to you, you better make the catch.
Only miscues for Oklahoma today has been the three turnovers, the 3 interceptions.
The 3 interceptions. And Knight had 2. And obviously those are overshadowed by all the other things that he's done so well. And now all of a sudden Cody Thomas throws another interception that, again, really wasn't a really pretty throw.
Ron, if I saw that stat alone, 3 turnovers to 1, you would think Oklahoma would be on the downside of this football game. But not the case. They're up big.
They're up big because they have all kinds of weapons across the board that can make up for those miscues. And I'm sure those are things that the coaches are going to go into the film room and correct. All 3 of those interceptions were poor throws and really more poor decisions by the quarterback that can be corrected, and they'll find a way to get better.
Richardson's done. Grant Rohach is now on the field for Iowa State. Flicks it to the near side. Nice catch, 15-yard line by Wesley, the freshman.
And both the coaches recognize, hey, we have an opportunity once again late in this game with the score the way it is. Let's find a way to get some of our other players some more opportunities to enhance their skills by getting experience in live situations.
Handoff. Oklahoma drops Wimberly for a 1-yard loss. He'll bring up 3rd down. Devontae Bond, number 23. Played JC ball at Sierra Community College. Getting some reps here for OU. Iowa State, 3rd down and long. Good protection. Quick flip, far side, short of the 1st down at the 11-yard line. It's Ekby. Ted Ekby with his first catch, his 3rd of the season.
I love when quarterbacks show off their arm strength. That ball was thrown on a rope diagonally across the field. They were on the opposite hash, and he threw a laser across the field. You have to have a strong arm to make that type of throw and make it accurate.
No question. Paul Rhodes. Let's move forward. 4th and 3. Play clock under 10. Cyclones to the end zone. Incomplete. Incomplete to Ekby. So Iowa State turns it over on downs. And Oklahoma will have it back with 9:38 to play here in Ames. Sooners dominating 52-14. Back in Ames, 52-14, Oklahoma. We go to Los Angeles for a game break. Greg Wolf.
All right, up next, Craig, I know a team you've seen a lot of over the last couple of years. Bryce Petty and that high-powered Baylor offense will try to get back on track after falling from number 4 in the country. They'll face a Kansas team seeking their first conference road win in 6 years. That's next from Waco. Craig, Ryan, back to you.
All right, Greg, thanks so much. Yes, we have seen Bryce Petty many, many times, and a downer for him and Baylor. Let's see if they can't get back on track against Kansas. Charlie Rice fired a few weeks ago. Sooners with the run. P. Ryan with a stiff arm. He's at the 30, delivers a punch at the 35-yard line. Boy, the yards on the ground today, they just keep piling high for the Sooners.
Oh, yeah, they do right there. And that was an excellent run. And I'm sure the coaches are going to talk to P-Ron right there. Hey, when you're up this big, we're trying to run out the clock. You got to find a way to stay in bounds. And they didn't stop it right there, but he was too close to the sideline. Just go down and allow that clock to keep running.
Cody Thomas with a long snap count. Straight ahead running. What a run. David Smith gets a rep. Ryan, that opening up front by the O-line of Oklahoma, that's a wide body you can run through. I'm talking like not maybe an 18-wheeler.
You could definitely drive an 18-wheeler through there. You might be able to drive two of them, the gaps that they're opening up. And that's why you're seeing these running backs with these creases and with their seams, and they're taking full advantage of it.
Another run by Smith. Well, the pads are popping here in Ames.
Well, I know you've talked to a number of running backs over the year, and all of them will tell you, if you can get through the line of scrimmage untouched into the second level, in their mind, they don't think anybody out there as a linebacker or defensive back can bring them down one-on-one. And that's what Oklahoma's done today. They've opened up a number of holes to allow their running backs to get to that second level, get to those linebackers and safeties untouched.
Second down and 6. Play clock at 2. Smith spins out of a tackle, first down. Well, they are deep at tailback. Well, the second FBS team with 3 100-yard rushers this season. The other is Wisconsin, who did it against Bowling Green. And the last time OU had 3 100-yard rushers, it was back in '92. Ernest Williams. It was Brewer and Collins against Mizzou. A lot of water under the bridge as that happened. 1992. What a dominating ground game today. Smith again, the ball carrier. Well, he's delivering the hits. He's fresh as he plows past the 30 to the 28-yard line and brought down by the left corner, Sam E. Richardson.
And Smith right now, there might be enough time on the clock for him to get 100. The way he's running the ball, I mean, they're bringing guys off the benches, and they're still running the ball really well at a high level. I mean, he's a physical runner. He's trying to prove to the coaches, hey, I can play too.
Ryan, the elite teams in college football, and you always define them by the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, and 4s, the starters and the backups. But when you go 3 and 4 deep at a position, that tells you how elite you are, how good that program is. And Oklahoma is there with most football teams in that elite category.
You hit it right on the head, Craig. You're absolutely right. When you're able to go out and recruit the talent that Oklahoma recruits year in and year out and reload your system top to bottom, and when your 3rd and 4th string players could go and be starters on other programs, it's impressive. I mean, the way they convince players to come here out of high school, they know that they're going to be able to compete and try to fight for an opportunity to win a Big 12 championship and a national championship.
Thomas to Smith. You know, this game important for Oklahoma getting back on track. 2-2 in Big 12 play. The 2 losses, as we mentioned, to TCU and Kansas State. K-State's up top, 6-1, 4-0 in the conference. But Oklahoma just kind of hanging around. Of course, Baylor plays later against Kansas. Can they make their way back into contention?
And West Virginia's playing TCU, and that's a big matchup today as well. So they're going to let things sort themselves out. Oklahoma plays Baylor next week. That's going to be a big-time game. That'll be an interesting matchup as well.
Cyclone showing blitz up the middle. Still found a hole for Smith as he spins past the 10 to the 8-yard line. Here's what's left for the Sooners. On November 8th, it's Baylor, 13th ranked. Then at Texas Tech. Then you have Kansas. And then you start the month of December. That's Oklahoma State, who's had some ups and downs. We saw the Cowboys earlier this season as Smith runs it in for a touchdown. Boy, what a drive. Off the bench.
All Smith. More Smith than Smith again for a touchdown. I mean, like I said, if he had a little bit more time on the clock, he may go for 100. He runs right up the middle. He's physical. has a nice little spin move to find a way to dive in for the end zone.
So Smith gets a chance to put his numbers up. Joins the likes of Ross, Pirine, Knight. 7 carries, 54 yards. And the chip shot for the PAT is up and good. What are these statues about? They're all over Ames. We'll tell you when we come back. Great idea. You go around Ames. It's part of a benefit for local charities. 30 statues of the Iowa State Cyclone mascot on display. Each are decorated by an artist, and they were unveiled prior to Iowa State's home opener this season. We were around town yesterday and saw them kind of just scattered throughout.
Yeah, a nice little landmark. Try to find one. Take a picture with it. I like the one with all mirrors around it.
Sooners have put 59 on the board on the road against Iowa State. And the kick takes a bounce out of bounds. Now this is the fraternity of college football. Smith gets his shot. All right. He comes off the field after his first career touchdown. And look at him. He is just getting mobbed by his teammates. And Ryan, you know all about that.
They're trying to get a little bit of emotional reaction from him from that touchdown. Try to get him to smile a little bit. But, you know, it's not just about a team. It's not just about football. It's a family. Those are your brothers. You sweat. You bleed with each other. You work hard with one another. And Smith doesn't get a lot of touches. But all of a sudden when he did and he scores, you can see the brotherhood come around him and celebrate him. That was impressive. I love that. I love that clip right there.
Tyler Brown gets the carry. Second down. 5 minutes left. They're still trying to get a smile out of him.
Well, they know that he's probably going to go back in the game and have another opportunity to get some more touches. See what he can do with it.
Yeah, he went over 50 yards on that series. There's this throw on the far side, just not much. Iowa State, they've had a couple of big plays in this game, but for the most part, Ryan, they have just been bottled up.
And that's one of the things they've struggled. And Sam Richardson, when he was in a quarterback, he's actually hit open receivers. They didn't make catches. They just weren't able to find a way to get that explosive play that they needed on a consistent basis. They had a couple of them that helped them, but overall, that's where they really struggled, and they could not get the running game going either.
They've had trouble converting on third downs, and they've had trouble dropping the ball. Time for the Nissan Heisman watch. See, this could be an interesting December because you got Prescott. Then you have Mariota. 24 touchdowns, 1 pick. Then comes the controversial Jameis Winston. Should he? Will he? Golson and Gordon. You know, a lot of times, though, people get in and look at numbers, but there's still a lot of talk this year with the troubles off the field. What type of person are you away from the football field that goes into that vote for the Heisman?
I think it should definitely play a factor. And, you know, Jameis Winston comes back onto our list right there. And obviously because of his performance a couple days ago, coming back from 21 against Florida State. But who knows? A lot of football left to be played. A lot of football left to be played here as well. Oklahoma up big.
This is a fight between two of the most...
Time for our Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff Player of the Game. And there's little question. Trevor Knight, quarterbacking Oklahoma.
No surprise. I mean, he did it on the ground with his feet. He did it through the air with his arm. It just showed why he's such a versatile quarterback and why Oklahoma's offense is one of the most high-powered offenses in the entire country. His versatility and with the weapons around him, it's hard to slow this offense down.
He has not played in this fourth quarter. Gave the football to Cody Thomas. Smith has dominated this game so far. He had 50-plus yards on that first drive he jumped in. Now he's past the 30-yard line and trying to push for another touchdown.
I'm loving watching the sideline for Oklahoma. When the ball's in his hands, they're jumping up, they're screaming, they're cheering him on. And that's what you want from your teammates late in the game like this, to cheer on the players that are still on the field fighting.
That last drive, Brown scored his first career touchdown. First and 10, 31-yard line. Smith wide open up the middle. So just one big chunk of yard after another. Works his way to the 20.
They're just simple zone read plays, getting them inside. He's getting the crease, he's making it happen, and the blocking up front, it's still very effective late in this game. They're still imposing their will as an offensive line.
504 yards of rushing offense today. The last time OU went for 500, 1989 against New Mexico State. They ran for 518. Thomas launches it to the end zone, and it's incomplete on first down. 3 minutes left, second down and 10.
Not only do you think you can put up those yards in a video game, when you and I can play, I mean, it's an impressive performance. And I know that the coaches have to be extremely impressed with the way that this team's responded after a tough loss. They went through their bye week, they made corrections, and they came out and responded and played at a high level to get back on track.
Clock's under 3 minutes. Let's step aside. Los Angeles we go. Game break, and here's Greg Wolf.
All right, thanks. We go to Boulder, Colorado. Washington quarterback Skyler Miles enjoying his Colorado homecoming. The Centennial native finds Dante Pettis 28-yard score. Washington has added a pick six since they lead 31-23 third quarter. Craig, Ryan, back to you.
All right, Greg, thanks. Huskies up and down year. Colorado still trying to just find their groove in Pac-12 play.
Colorado lost a tough heartbreaker last week against UCLA, and they're still fighting against a tough Washington team.
Incomplete at the 15-yard line, and that brings us 4th and 10. You surprised Oklahoma's passing the football?
I'm very surprised. I mean, late in the game like this, you're up. I understand you want to get your quarterback work. The other thing is you also want to protect your players. You know, run the ball, run the clock down, allow your players to get off the football field and go home healthy and go home and enjoy this victory.
Yeah, Baylor's next at home for Oklahoma next week in Norman. We'll see Baylor in Kansas coming up next on Fox Sports 1. Just got the snap away. Thomas stands in the pocket. Now he'll run on 4th and 10. Big hit just inside the 15-yard line. Alton Meeks, number 44, made the tackle for Iowa State. So just over 2 minutes left. And Iowa State will take over.
That was impressive. The young quarterback, he couldn't find anybody open. I know it's 4th down. But you know what? He tucked the ball. He tried to fight for it. He didn't try to force the football. Sometimes you're a young guy. You come in off the bench. You have high hopes. You want to try to impress the coaches. You start trying to press the ball in those situations. That was a smart play by Cody.
Iowa State will drop down to 2-6 and winless in Big 12 play at 0-5. Tyler Brown chased out of bounds. Stops the clock at 2:04. Next week, they'll take on Kansas on the road in Lawrence. That team's trying to undergo a change since Charlie Weiss was let go.
Yeah, and anytime you have change, you know, it takes time. There's a process in Kansas. They're still trying to figure things out. They're still searching for an identity. And it's going to be an interesting matchup for Iowa State. Those are two teams trying really hard to find a way to finish this season strong.
3rd down, Tyler Brown's short of the 1st down. Let's take you back to 2000. Little coaching tree there. You know who's on the left, right? That's Stoops. And then Mangino, who was at Kansas, who took off and tried his luck as the head coach. Now he's at Iowa State as the offensive coordinator.
And Josh was the QB.
3rd down and 4. Stoops has great success at Oklahoma, and you know what? He's far from being done. There's a 1st down. Oh, the high-stepping Tyler Brown gets rocked. Hatari Bird, his 10th tackle of the year.
We talked to Coach Stoops the other day, and I complimented him. Every time I watch film and every time I've seen this team over the years, they play with an intensity and a sense of urgency. Their record may not always be indicative to the level of play that they're playing at on the football field. These players are well coached and well prepared every single week.
Well, Stoops in his 16th year, 15 consecutive bowl berths, 8 Big 12 titles in the national championship.
Personal foul, face mask, number 49. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Few coaches, Ryan, that have that type of resume. Now, little known in college football, but at one school.
Well, to have that longevity and to have that tenure says a lot about your ability not only to coach up talent, but to understand how to work with the alumni, understand how to work with the athletic department. It takes a lot to be a head coach nowadays in college football, but it comes down to W's, and they've won week in and week out, year in and year out.
So that should be the final play of this game, dominated from start to finish for Oklahoma. 62-3 now. And during the Stoops era, when having 500 yards of total offense. Today, 751. What a performance for Ryan Neese, Craig Bolerjack. We wish you good afternoon from Ames. The score again, 59-14 Oklahoma. Following the short break, we'll take you to Rob Stone and the guys in our LA studios. You've been watching Fox Sports 1 College Football, presented by Kay Jewelers.